What's up, Floki? What's up, Chris? What's up, boss? That league looks weird. Looking fine to me. Good old Path of Exile. Let's go, baby! Finally a good game. Let's go, boys. Alright. Alright, what is the plan tonight? The plan is simple. We want to optimize this as much as possible. I am legitimately thinking about like doing it from scratch. Literally from scratch. The end game POB, and then we're going to keep on going down to include all the POBs. All the POBs in tomorrow's video. I think this is exactly what we're gonna do. I think this is what we have to do. So, let's start from scratch, boys. We're gonna have a new folder, 3.28. 3.28, boom. And we're gonna have this folder over here, new, and boom. Alright, so, Martyr, Chieftain. What I'm gonna do in the beginning is like the end game POB, right? Without the, it's not going to be like ridiculous budget, but it's going to be like what I plan on, where I plan on pushing this character before we're gonna swap to like, you know, a Giga endgame build, right? I'm not talking like, you know, Echoing Shrine, new belt, something like that. What's up, Krusty C, and thank you for bits. Love the streams, thanks, boss. Thank you very much for the cheer, man. Hope you're doing great today. And I hope all of you guys are doing great. I remember Mace Kane, do you even play a character without bonking weapon? Nope. And Leap Slam, my favorite skill. Actually, it's kind of a shame, because a Bone Shatter is literally a skill from Nasus, from League of Legends. And I've like played Bone Shatter like once. So, it's a stacking skill. That's basically you bonk people. And the more you bonk, the more damage you get, pretty much. Alright, let's jump into it straight up. So, first we're gonna put items in there. So, what are we looking for? We're looking for Brutus, let's Sprinkler, something like that with Crit Corruption. Crit Corruption in the middle, let's not go too far, 11% crit, there we go. Then we're getting Rat Pits Globe. The roll doesn't freaking matter. Then we have Crown of Ice. And the Crown of Ice will be with Mana Reservation. Yeah. I thought there is a corruption effect on helmets that gives you 5% damage taken as mana before life, but it's not there, so it must have been like an old thing or something. Let's get this. These are probably not going to be... I don't think there's going to be too many Rapid Globe builds in this league. I might be very wrong, but we'll see. Hey mate, how are you going to solve Power Charge Sustain? Very simple. We're just going to put the support that gives us power charge on critical. We're going to have that early. I think the damage is still going to be good enough, for sure. And later on, we're going to swap to this level 1 support gem from the thing that gives us power charge on critical. I think this is going to be really, really powerful. Of course, it might be like on an expensive side, but you know, in the beginning, just having this support, it's not even a useless support because we're going to have 4 power charges, which means that we'll be getting 16% more damage from that. So that's support. So it's not even going to be that much worse than the regular support, to be honest. It's not even going to be that much worse. Especially that in the beginning it will give us perma power charges. So this actually is additional boost. Because early on we wouldn't have power charges unless until we were gonna get the medium cluster jewel with charge generation, right? When you Warcry you get a charge. So yeah, without mobs mentality. Okay, gloves, Leviathan gloves or something like that, it's fine. What we want over here is basically something like life, I don't know, like 100 or something. Armor, not necessarily. It's kind of a shame that there are no good prefixes for gloves. I mean, additional armor is actually not bad, but yeah, there's nothing too crazy. Then we probably want attack speed on something like that. This build is not necessarily going to scale with a lot of attack speed. That being said, it would be nice to have like a decent amount. Power charge and crit work with the combustion from Infernal Cry. I have no idea, but we're also not going to be using Infernal Cry, so yeah, it's like I don't think it's gonna. I have no idea, to be honest. I have no clue. Haven't been playing much slams, a lot of slams in the past. Alright, so the gloves, obviously, we would want to buy something like Fractured T1 Strength or T1 Attack Speed or something like that. Probably T1 Attack Speed and then Slam Essences, basically. So, getting gloves like that is going to be very, very simple, or at least it should be. And, I don't know, getting something like this with, I don't know, maybe a little bit of armor or something like that. Boom. With, influences, of course. Influence, and then add modifier, crafting bench, fire, chaos, fire and chaos resistances. This is probably something we would want. Add to the build. Then we're gonna do influences, and Searing Exarch would be. Well, since this is a slam build, we don't need you know, the strike skill, freaking Ancestral Call one anymore. So what is there that would be better? And what would be better is, well, free Intimidate is pretty nice. Not gonna lie. Critical Strike chance, definitely not. Free Intimidate is pretty nice. Attack speed will also be alright, but I think that Intimidate is better. It's gotta be better, right? It's gotta be better. Intimidate is really nice. You can get 20% chance to, like, it's always going to be up on bosses and stuff like that. So, that's that. And then add Implicit from Eater. And the Eater would be... what would be, like, the best thing from Eater possible? I wonder if we're gonna have, like, Awakened Fire... I mean, Exceptional Fire Pen still. I'm really curious if they kept it. Because this gives you exposure, right? Exposure is pretty damn good. But if we're not gonna have it, then this one would be fantastic. This one will be absolutely amazing. Let's go with this one. Let's do 12% or something. Alright, and there we go. Say, immediately check this. Add exposure. I mean, I don't think that's even going to be mandatory with this. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be mandatory. Boots Albarons with +1 Corruption Endurance Charge. This should be very cheap. Even in the beginning, something like that should be very, very cheap. Then, of course, Zelf's Blood. Period. There is nothing better. Not an ointment. Catalyst attributes. There is nothing better early on, and until mid. Honestly, the only amulet that beats this amulet is pretty much like Simplex. So that means this amulet for this build is just like beyond freaking good. So there's nothing you can do about that. The best part about this is you can get the one that doesn't have fire resistance, which is not a big deal on Chieftain, and you can get physical taken as fire up to, I believe, 15%, which is crazy good. Because you can make it up to 18%, I believe, with a fire catalyst. So you would have 12% fire pen and 12% and 18% physical taken as fire, which is crazy freaking good. Alright, Helicals. I said that the budget is not going to be like ridiculously high, so when it comes to Helicals, we're gonna do something like this. We're not gonna do Misted Helicals, obviously, although it's not impossible to get them first week, but we're not gonna go like too far here. So what we're gonna do is like Helical like this, with all attributes. I don't know. You know, fire resistance, then we would probably want to craft something like Fire Chaos, maybe. Chaos Fire. Chaos Fire. Fire Chaos. Boom. And some life. Not too much. I don't know. 70 or something like this. I think that something like that is reasonable. Something like that is very reasonable. Now, of course, it's going to be a helical, so these numbers have to go up. Something like that. Fire resistance would be something like, I don't know, 70, 60, let's just say. And this would be 22. Boom. Both of them put in there. Swapping Brutus with one-handed Shaper weapon with flat fire. This is going to be better than Brutus. There is no freaking way. Brutus does way more damage, and Brutus has 11% crit chance with a corruption. That is ridiculous. Under no circumstances this is going to be better than Brutus. I just do not believe that. Possibly. I just don't believe this. Unless you're going to find something, I would love to get schooled. If you're going to find something that is actually going to be, like, you know, potentially better, then let me know. But yeah, like, I don't know. I don't know how you're gonna find it, where you're gonna find it. But Brutus is just too good, especially for its ridiculously small price. That's like the best part. It's so cheap. Alright, a synth belt. Let's just do belt. Synth belt with 80% strength. Edit. 18% increased strength. Basic synth belt with strength, with life, with crafted I mean, let's just do like chaos resistance here, something like that. Just do chaos resistance here. I don't know, T3 chaos resistance. I'm gonna leave this suffix open, maybe. Then we would need a little bit of resistances here, but we're also gonna have purity of fire, so even less than that. We literally would need just like a little bit, tiny bit resistance, and we're pretty much done. And I don't really even have like a lot of resistance in my gear. I really don't. Like, I just have some baby numbers. Honestly, except for this, instead of this fire and fire here, you could just literally get cold and lightning in both of those, and that would absolutely do it. So I'm actually thinking about doing. Actually thinking about doing that. Hold on. Copy this. Helical. Edit. Boom. This is going to be cold resistance. Add to build. Add another helical. And this is going to be lightning resistance. Oops. This is going to be lightning resistance. And this helical is gonna go over here. This one's gonna go over here. Obviously, it's incredibly easy to... But I'm freaking stupid. That doesn't freaking change anything. Because I have the chieftain node. Oh my lord. Like, the resistance is still gonna be the same. Crap. Can I exert travel skills in beltcraft too? Yeah, we're gonna need that. Which I guess... Well, I still don't know if I'm going to invest into exerted clusters. Probably not. Probably. Which means that this could be crafted here. You're totally right, by the way. Cannot. Travel skills. Yeah, this belt is looking decent enough. Big damage, low resistances. We like that. Sub Samo. Daykind. We watched from Too Much League. Washed? Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, we're gonna catch a second win because PoE is getting released soon. I can feel the second wind in my bones. Alright, and what I told you yesterday is that I would like to make this build so that we don't need to worry about stuff like Arctic armor or anything like this. Instead,
Yeah, boy.
I would freaking love to just get like solid amount of armor and call it a day. And not gonna lie, I'm thinking about that today as well. So let's do body armor. Freaking. Let's do craft. Body. Royal plate. Brass dome is obviously out of the question. Brass dome is not happening. Influence, searing, eater, and then we're doing decent amount of armor. Double T1, let's just say. We are not doing anything on the last prefix because we don't want life. Yeah, that might be a little bit too much. Let's just say tier 2, tier 2. Then we're doing strength. Then we're doing crafted attributes. Then maybe PDR, maybe trying to get PDR is a little bit too much, but honestly, getting chests like that is not that freaking difficult, dude. Like, we're talking, it's not really that difficult. It's really freaking not. But anyway. Add modifier, crafting bench, attributes. 6%. And add build. And add implicit. Searing Exarch is going to be, as I said yesterday, I'm not 100% sure. Probably, I don't know, just crit multi for some damage. Probably just crit multi there. You get +2 maximum fire res, that's not worth it. Increased effect of cursing, raising of flasks. Flasks, aura effect. I only have one aura, literally. So I don't know about that. Arctic armor buff effect. 9. 9, boys, 9. Just let's do tier 2 this. And then I'm implicit, and there's only one correct option here, just less damage taken per strength. Let's just say tier 3. Boom, and boom. And I don't think that getting a chest like that is gonna be a problem at all. So we have 3 for chest. 3 for chest. Oh, right, of course, yeah. So I really don't think that getting something similar to that is going to be a problem at all, especially when the fractured bases are going to start getting involved. You could argue that since this is basically only less damage taken per 210 strength, the critical strike multi is not that amazing. You could argue that you could try, for example, get the Elder chest with percent strength. But I think that this modifier, less damage taken per strength, is just too broken. So I don't know about that. What's up, Mary? What's up, Number? Carnaf X. Welcome back, everybody, boys. Good point. Tree is still good. I want to use hammers for Breach Fortress farm. You know, the best part about this is that the nerfed tree, Genesis tree, does not affect us at all. Because we don't give a shit about weapons. We just use Brutus. So, I mean, that's freaking fantastic. Alright, so that will make it for 3.28. 3.28. Brutus. Brutus of Holy Hammers. New build, boys. New build. Old build, but new build at the same time. I guess you could say. Give me literally 1 second. Okay, we're so back. Alright. The auto-targeting from hammers sounds great. I think that the reason why I want to do hammers so much, there are 2 reasons. Number 1, the area looks insanely fun. Like, the skill looks insanely fun to play. Like, literally, that's one of the, like, from the showcase, that's one of, like, most fun skills I've ever seen. Like, it's almost gonna feel like when you expand the power charge, it's almost gonna feel like using Vol Smite but on every hit. That looked insanely fun. And the reason number 2 is because it can potentially be stronger than Smite for a single target even. Not only for clear. I mean, Smite is really good for clear, don't get me wrong. But for a single target, it can be amazing also, depending on how hard these hammers gonna shotgun. We don't know that. And it's a slam skill. There is a potential that's gonna hit like a truck, but we'll see about that, right? We'll see about that. But I'm really excited for it. All right, so that would more or less make up for the items. I mean, screw that. You know what I'm gonna do here? We're gonna add additionally physical feed PDR, like I don't know, like 7% or something. 7% PDR there. There we go. All right. The new Shock Nova also looking great. I mean, this is for spellcasters, right? Pesky spellcasters. Nah, I mean, spellcasters are fine. Like, I despise bowcocks and minions. But, I'm just kidding, man. Alright, man. Let's do the tree, shall we? So, we still need to do this in the beginning. Period. This, potentially, I could draw... Never mind. So what I wanted to try is actually completely skipping going this way and trying to go this way. I kind of wanted to do this, but you know what? Let's do the previous version first, and then we're gonna do the secondary version after that. So this is the baseline version. This version of the build is really good because you get endurance charges, you get all the goodies here. You get armor, you get attack speed, you get dexterity. Dexterity is useful. You get accuracy, so it's really, really nice. Stun immunity as well. Alright, and then we're going this way. We're gonna path through this. We're gonna get this. We're gonna get barbarism. We're gonna get this. And since this is a late game version, I said I'm not gonna allocate these. And I'm not going to allocate these, I guess. Then of course we're getting strength. The late game version does not need fortify, so we ignore that. The maximum rage with permanent rage generation, boom, we're gonna get that. It's kind of a shame that these two nodes do nothing, but this cluster is still better than this cluster, so yeah, it is. Then we are going this way because jewels are in I mean, we need iron wool anyway, so we are going to get that. This one probably, I don't know, we'll see. For Holy Hammers, we don't want much attack speed, true? Yes. That means, obviously, that our ability to navigate through maps is going to be a little bit worse because we're not going to be getting that much attack speed. But I don't think that's going to be a big problem. We're still going to have decent amount of attack speed, that's number one. Number two, we also have Frost Blink, and we're going to make up for it with Crazy Clear. So I think it's going to be fine. But generally speaking, yes. That means that the skill, that the build is going to have slightly different jewels because we're not going to be focusing on attack speed that much. We're going to be focusing most likely on crit multi. Going towards Retribution feels nice early for Marauder. Retribution. Yeah, I mean, of course, but as I said, this is going to be like a late game. What I'm doing right now is late game version, and then we're going to be going down on budget until we reach the, you know, the campaign one. I know I might be doing that in the wrong direction, but I wanted to do late game option first. So, sub Shadow, Swado, excuse me, and Tank Sauce. Sorry. All right. Okay. I will need one more. I will have to freaking go over there, I'm afraid. I will have to get there or there, but well, anyway. Save. Large cluster jewel. I will need one of the two. Large cluster jewel. We're gonna do holding a shield. Actually, I take it back. We're not gonna do holding a shield. We're gonna do this is for scepters as well. Alright, we're gonna do Overlord. We're gonna do, I don't know, weight advantage or something. We're gonna do martial prowess. This jewel doesn't need to be exactly like this, but if it's going to be like this, then it's not a bad thing, right? Alright, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Weight advantage is probably not gonna be taken. I'm gonna. I mean, no, you cannot not take that. Let's be honest. Then medium cluster jewel. We're gonna need 2 of those bad boys. Exert it. 4, and number 1. What we want is led by example, or lead by example. Lead by example. Then mob's mentality. Then here, I don't know, 3 attributes or something. Doesn't matter. And then another medium cluster jewel. Exert it. Boom. Warning call, most likely. And rattling bellow. Probably rattling bellow. Crit and crit multi against taunted enemies. This... I mean, this would be additional... I mean, we don't need that again. Enemies taunted by war cries are intimidated. Free intimidate. Increased total power counted by war cries. Okay, it's counted. Rattling bellow, most likely. This is kinda good, I guess. It kinda is. Alright, let's get that. Let's put this over here. And boom. There we go. So this cluster jewel is done. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, okay. Okay. But I mean, I need to get there anyway. This cluster is absolutely mandatory. So chill. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kind of low on stats right now. But I mean, the cluster we're gonna use is with all attributes. The reason why I'm low on intelligence is because I don't have all of these, right? Normally, intelligence wouldn't be a problem. Would scaling AoE be good? Do jewels have more AoE or something? 67? Well, what about 67? AoE, we'll see how the build is, how the Holy Hammer is gonna function in practice, right? We don't know yet if it's going to, for example, increase the overlap or something like that from explosions. But we're gonna have plenty of area. I don't think it's going to be worth it. Yo, Spec Ops 70, thanks a lot for Prime, man. Thank you very much. Very much appreciated. Purity of Flesh we still probably want to get. With 51 Chaos Resistance, we are golden, I would say. We don't need more than that. And I guess we're gonna go over here and get another cluster jewel. A large cluster jewel. And this one is gonna be with holding a shield probably. And we're gonna get attack speed. I think attack speed? Maybe spell damage instead. Spell damage cluster jewel. We're gonna get I don't know, life in here. We're gonna get increased effect. We're gonna get all attributes. We're gonna get strength. I guess something like that is what we want. Add to build. Slam this bad boy over here. And boom. Probably missed something, but this is more or less how the tree would look like, I think, late game. Then we can, of course, experiment by just dropping this completely, but we'll see about that later. Alright, save. Let's allocate before I forget. Strong arm probably is going to... actually, is strong arm that good now? 5% increased attack speed, physical damage. This physical damage gets turned into fire, though. Thanks to this. League starting new skills is brave. Good luck, goat. That's not brave at all. If something goes wrong for some reason, but I very much doubt it. The skill looked amazing during the showcase. But if something goes wrong, I literally just swap 2 things. I literally just swap some gems and like 3 passives, and we're back to using smite. So it's actually incredibly safe, if anything. Managed to reach 5.4 million simulated POBDPs with Holy Strike Guardian and doesn't include the Hallowing Flame stuff at all. That sounds very good. I mean, of course, depending on what the budget is, but that sounds pretty good indeed, my friend. Alright, okay. Okay, okay, okay. These helicals would have to be influenced by Warlord, I'm afraid. So I need to redo this again. 95. Oh, not that much. 95. Here we would have like 60. And here we would have like 22. There we go. Boom. Okay, so they're... Damn it, man, the wrong one. Shoot. Wrong one, boys. 60. Boom. Alright, so they're a warlord now? I don't even freaking know. Whatever. Karna, you forgot about increased attributes on the left down strength node. That's correct. I did forget about that. And at this point, we would just... You would want to just probably drop these, or like some of these points over here, right? In case like something goes wrong. But that's long story short, how this would look like. Alright, now for the big boosts. We need jewels first. We need 5 jewels that are gonna look like this. Crimson jewel, and they need to look like this. Fire resistant, gyre resistance. Gyre res. Oh, it's a suffix. Fire maximum fire +2. Crit multi with one-handers or lightning or whatever. There's many options. One-handed melee weapons. And the last mod would be... Well, you have many options here. Even armor would be okay. You could get life. You could get literally anything you want here, to be honest. You could get strength. Something like that would be, I guess, pretty cool. I'm not gonna go for 4 modded jewels because that seems like a little bit too much. But I am going to go for something like this. So that's number 1. Actually, let's keep them. Let's keep those slots in the cluster jewels for unique ones. That's number 1. That's number 2. This one is going to be taken. That's number 3. That is number 4. And number 5 is going to be a little bit different. I mean, okay, just to save myself trouble. You know what? Just to save myself trouble. Number 4, number 5, I mean. And just to save myself trouble, I'm going to put some freaking fire resistance over here. And, I don't know. Hold on a second. Okay, let's remove that. I'm gonna put some fire resistance over here. Just to save myself trouble. I could literally have some fire resistance on one of these jewels and we will be totally fine. But, okay. Alright, and we're sitting at 90 Olres now. We're sitting at 90 Olres now. Chaos resistance is totally fine. And I mean totally fine. And we have... Oh, there's another one over here. Hold on. I messed up. None. Boom. There we go. That's better. Now, Bound by Destiny. I don't know how expensive that's gonna be, but since this is, you know, towards the end game, I'm gonna use, like, you know, Warlord 2 percentage strength. We're gonna use that bad boy and put it over here. Boom. Then we're gonna use Lethal Pride and put it over there. Save. Find Timeless Jewel. Lethal. Any. Marauder. Filter nodes. Sort by strength. Strength. Percent strength. Search. Wait, what? That is not correct. That cannot be right. Unless if I allocate strong arm. But that seems weird. Strong arm. I mean, strong arm is a good passive. Find, search. Okay. So let's do this one, for example. So it is strong arm after all. Okay. And this one is strength here, strength, maximum fortification, strength. Well, I guess I do have very few nodes allocated here, so it kind of makes sense. It does kind of make sense at the end of the day. Alright, that's fine. Our armor is ass. It's about to get better though. 17,000. Is 17,000 and PDR good enough? What do you guys think? I think it would be legitimately good enough if instead of fire resistance on Zov's blood, if we had physical taken as fire. That's up to 18%. That is very strong. Very strong. I think legitimately Fizz would be good enough. Of course, like, we don't have... Hold on, we don't have everything yet, but... First of all, Endurance charges, boom. Then Fortify, boom. We have both of these things permanently. So, Fizz max hit is already 25,000. But, in my opinion. That is really decent. In my opinion. It really is. Now, of course, we have all the charges. From Mob's Mentality. We have Permanent Onslaught from the Warcry thing. We used Warcries recently. We are going to be on Conk Ground as well. Okay, there we go. That's the setup. Enemy exposed to fire, enemy covered in ash. Boom. Then the gods, well, whatever. Whatever about the gods. Okay, nice. And I still have 2 jewels. We could do anything with those. We could put some goody freaking unique jewels. But I'm not necessarily... Since we only use 1 freaking aura... Okay, never mind. We use 2 auras. We also use... precision. Precision with arrogance. We need that. We need that 100%. Boom. Like, honestly, if I allowed to... I mean, if I had enough mana for Blood and Sand... Excuse me, not Blood and Sand. For Flesh and Stone, we would have very tanky character here. You guys don't know. I'm gonna show you right now. Enduring Cry with Call to... No. War Cry. I forgot its freaking name, man. Hold on, give me a second. Enduring Cry. For now, it's just going to be Enduring Cry. We are going to be using that. So with Enduring Cry, currently we are sitting at War Cry power max. Oh, never mind. So it's max by default. Only 1.8 thousand regen per second. Can we just use one reservation jewel instead of the exerted one? That's not gonna happen. If you wanted to do something, you could drop... We could think about dropping something and instead getting the reservation clusters over here. We could do that. For the late game version, this potentially could be like an option. I really don't think that having higher Fizz max hit is going to be mandatory though. I really don't. We are talking 7 endurance charges. They're up permanently. So 7 endurance charges with 7 PDR, 8 PDR, perfect roll from this, with less damage taken, with Fortify, so that's like 40% PDR almost, with less damage taken, mod, with Fortify, with 17,000 armor. That's our defense versus Fizz, and like with 25% block. I think that's a lot, to be honest. I really think that's enough to like to face tank freaking tier 17, like, you know, nightmare maps, without like some astronomical juice when it comes to fizz. I think that's gonna be good enough. With this amount of regen and leech, I legitimately think that's good enough. I really do. But my regen looks really low for some reason. And I'm not sure why. Did I have Vitality previously in this build too? I don't remember. Is Vitality worth it? It's definitely not worth it. No. Okay, let's save that for a second. Let's check this first. So, Enduring Cry, more duration, urgent orders was its name. More duration, urgent orders. And the last one is going to be Blessed Warcry, the support that they added this league to give us count ground, like against bosses and stuff. I think it's okay to use that. Let's put that in gloves. Then let's put that in boots. And here we're gonna have Auto Exertion with General's Cry, with Seismic Cry for 50% more area on basically every hit. That is going to be crazy good. And additional generation with I don't remember what we had here. Builds. What was the last one? Oh, okay. We had, okay, things were a little bit different here. Precision Arrogance with Blood Rage, that's fair. Purity of Fire just alone somewhere. Leave some faster attacks from a life tap. Frost Blink, Assassin's Mark on hit. Okay. I mean, we don't need anything else here, really. I mean, that's pretty much it, what we need here. I can even drop this Purity of Fire from here completely and put it over there. And that's gonna do. So that's boots, that's gloves. The last support is gonna be taking here. That's gonna be like weapon with Blood Rage. Blood Rage we still need to use for obvious reason. Weapon number 2 is gonna be, I don't know, we're gonna think about that in a second. This is going to be in helmet, by the way. I mean, 4 freaking reds in a helmet. That's not gonna freaking happen now. That's not gonna happen, guys. I mean, it could happen, but it's gonna take like... I mean, it could... Actually, it's not gonna be that freaking impossible. I take it back. Is it not going to be? It's gonna be freaking pain in the ass. I mean, that's a great way to save some mana, though. Do you have any suggestions? Any suggestions for an experienced player who wants to start making his own builds? I would say that this is mostly just trial and error. You need auras there. Yeah, but there's only one aura, right? Purity of Fire. And the other reservation costs, abilities are these. So, yeah. Only use one aura, which is Purity of Fire in this build. And Precision, but, you know, Precision doesn't count. Just trial and error, just keep on going. Not suggestions, more like you have any tips on how to start POBing. My recommendation in the beginning is probably, like, try to find a build that you like. Like, put it in your POB and try to improve it. Try to find small little things that would improve the build. Whatever build you found on the internet that you like, freaking copy it to your POB and try to find a way to improve it. That's a good start. That's a good way to start, because that teaches you how to like optimize builds and shit. Arctic Armor plus Enlighten. We're not gonna have mana for that. Besides, I think Flesh and Stone would be way better than Arctic Armor, to be honest. Alright, let me think. The only problem with this is that it's 4 reds. If this was like 1 blue for 3 reds, then it would be much better. Makes me think if I even need that corruption, because I'm not so sure anymore. I'm not so sure anymore. Of course, we still have 2 jewels. These cannot be clusters unless I wanted to like drop something somewhere else. I mean, on paper, I could like drop all of that, right? If I really wanted to, I could. It wouldn't be really a big deal. And this way, we could like drop all of this, and this way we could also drop this and path this way instead, and that would save us additional points, I think. I mean, we'll need to try that. We'll need to try that, I think. Autoxert have more mana reservation now. I know, it's 20%. But even like this setup right now, we are still sitting at leftover 24% mana, because we're reserving 2 war cries, so we're still sitting at a very comfy amount, right? Very comfy amount. That is enough easily for you to even use tincture, and it is going to be very efficient to use tincture with this, and that's pretty damn nice, if I say so myself. And I obviously still don't know if I want to keep Royal Plate or change to Iron Fortress, right? I have no freaking clue. This is Giga Tank. This will give us all the tankiness that we'll ever need on this character. And Iron Fortress is more damage, right? And 75% block, which is freaking huge defensive layer. Like, you can't argue with that. Iron Fortress is kind of cracked also. Alright, let's do body armor first. So body armor, as a placeholder, we're gonna do Sunder here, for the lack of better options. Sunder, and we'll be doing Awakened Wed. We'll be doing, of course, this is like, again, towards the end game version of the build, not necessarily like, you know, day 2, obviously. Critical damage. Then we're gonna do Pulverize. And then we're gonna do not this. Fist of War. And then the last one obviously would be, you know what, guys. Then we're gonna have, as a 7 link, we're gonna have Power Charge on critical, except that it's gonna be 0 quality, level 1. This is going to be our Power Charge generation. Okay, looking good. There is another option. I could put intimidating cry if I really wanted here. That would be like, the POB says that would be like on average about 20% more damage. In reality, it will be even more, probably, because sometimes I will get, I mean pretty often, I will get this double damage boosted by Fist of War. So we could use that if we wanted to. We could use it. What does it do? It gives you movement speed. Okay. And the Seismic Cry. Mm-hmm. %50 more area of effect. I mean, that's freaking busted. Not gonna lie, this more armor would be kind of nice, but it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal, really. I mean, I could keep on using Intimidating Cry if I really wanted to. I could do that. Alright, next up. Weapon 2. We're gonna use Assassin's Mark. Assassin's Mark. Mark on hit. With, I don't freaking remember. Let me check these one more time. So what do I have here? Purity of Fire somewhere. With Arrogance, Precision, Blood Rage. With Flush and Stone here, okay. With Life Tap, Faster Attack, Sleep Slam. Urgent Orders, boom. Okay, Frostblink, of course. Frostblink, almost forgot about that. Frostblink. Boom. So body armor, gloves, weapon 1. Change that here. Weapon 1, weapon 2. Gloves, boots. And I have... Okay, I know why. I don't have Leap Slam yet. Leap Slam. With like faster attacks or something. With Life Tap. With, I don't know, momentum for like some more again. And this would be helmet, and this would be boots. I don't know how I'm gonna get 4 reds for that, but yeah. It's not gonna be pretty to get 4 reds, this Crown of Ice. On paper, I don't need to, but I have very few blues, generally speaking. Very few blues. Want to pop whole Legion? Pretty much, man. Pretty much that's the plan. Alright, save. Now, flasks, and we still have jewels. Still something to do with jewels after that. Flasks. Craft an item, magic, utility. So diamond obviously is gonna be number 1. With like crit. Then we have I don't remember if I want any uniques. Probably Bottled Faith would be nice, and that's about it when it comes to uniques. It's possible that Amethyst Flask wouldn't be horrible. Onslaught we don't need, because we have Perma Onslaught. Granite Flask, let's try, with like armor or something over here. Armor. Shock immunity on one of these flasks would be nice. Diamond Flask, Granite. And I don't know, Amethyst, let's just say. With like shock immunity or something like that over here. Reduced effect of shock on you during the effect, that's also fine. That makes you pretty much immune to shock, so it doesn't freaking matter. Shocks don't matter anymore with this. And the 1 life flask over here, and then like, I don't know, Bottled Faith, right? Something like this, that sounds good to me. And the life flask with bleed corrupted blood immunity, and you're freaking done. Add to build. Let's freaking select these. Enemies are on conk ground. And there we go. Boom. Okay. So for Sunder, we already have substantial amount of damage. Not gonna lie. And we still have 2 sockets left. The mana I'm sitting at is like 31% unreserved right now. Which is a lot. I forgot about this point. For 5,000 armor for 1 point is very good. We'll have to start dropping some shit soon. Something tells me. We'll have to start dropping some stuff soon, boys. I mean, this cluster is way too good not to get that. How much damage is that? Oh my lord. 16% more damage for that. This notable is so freaking insane, by the way. This basically is like perma 30% reduction of action speed on enemies. This is, if you use Mace or Scepter, this is such a broken mastery. It really is. That is like so disgusting. I just drop 1 point from here. There we go. Just drop 1 point from here. Emperor's Mastery is so freaking overrated. I'm definitely not doing that. Split personality, distance to start is 35, 31. We could do splits if we really wanted. I don't think that the distance is good enough though. First of all, I would probably have to go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my lord. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So that's additional passive down the shitter. This would increase the distance by quite a lot. How much would it increase the distance? So I lose 1 passive, and the distance now is 37, 33. That's barely freaking made any difference, bro. That barely made any difference. I'll pass. Alright, let's try splits. Split personality. Strength. You think that strength life would be expensive? It can be. Let's try strength armor. That's gonna be cheap as hell. That's gonna be dirt cheap. So it's 95 strength. 95 strength, 95 strength. Okay. Also 3000 armor. I actually have very I'm actually so freaking tanky versus Fizz with this. I actually really am. So freaking tanky against Fizz. The only thing that pisses me off is my accuracy is not good enough. I could legitimately this would probably be cheap. I could literally hold on. I could literally do splits with strength and accuracy, bro. I think that this would be pretty cheap. I mean, look at that. Like, accuracy is done forever with this. I have 4.2k now, all of a sudden. We don't need accuracy anymore. What's up, Henrique? Can check if crit multi-strength and jewels are better than split personalities. Yeah, I was thinking about that too. We're gonna check that in a second. Let's save this for now. That is honestly some devastating amount of damage for Sunder to have on Sunder in POB. It really is. And this is still like not all that expensive, bro. Imagine how much more it's gonna be with Holy Hammers actually. With like overlap and shit. Wonder how much it would show if I had Smite here in comparison. Smite, Vol Smite, Smite of Divine Judgment. Smite, Smite of Divine Judgment, Smite. How much in comparison? Let's do this, let's do that. Let's do this. Let's do regular multi-strike. Wait, multi-strike is only 25% damage. How is that possible? I don't know. Let's do inspiration. Let's see, it's not that much more, actually. I don't know, let's do this. It's not that much more, it's about 25 million Shaper DPS with Smite right now. Okie dokie. Alright, let's try to do regular jewels. Crimson. Crit one-handed. Crit multi. Here we would probably want like something like double crit multi. Crit multi. Oh, but this is... Okay, I can't do that because it's a physical skill. I actually can't do this. So we would need to do like melee crit multi here or something like that. Melee crit multi. And... yeah, let's not go overboard, shall we? Something like that is actually going to be... just a little bit... Honestly, I would like honestly take splits. These are dirt cheap splits. These are very, very cheap. And honestly, my problems with my problems with accuracy are completely gone with these. Even on maps with less accuracy, I'm overcapped because I have 4.2k now. I think that's way better. But a single Sunder does 2 million freaking damage. That's without the crit multi. Holy smokes. We have almost 2000% increased damage. Dude, this hits like a truck. This is without crit, guys. So we hit for 10 million with a crit. Legitimately. So lightning crit multi? Yeah. Exactly. That's actually 10 million freaking Sunder. From the first wave only. That's without shockwaves. Holy smokes, bro. That hits like a truck. In reality, I think it's even more. Because, like, this doesn't necessarily count. Like, for example, double damage from Intimidating Cry. It doesn't count properly. Because the cooldown is really long. So the first hit would actually hit for like 15 freaking million or something like that. Jeez. Let me check if I'm correct. Yeah, I am. This only counts the average, not the actual hit. Holy moly, this is gonna hit like a truck. And this is Sunder. Like, there is a very, very good chance that Holy Hammer is gonna hit harder than that. Very good chance. I still have a lot of mana left. You know what we could do, right? With this amount of mana left, what I could do is drop momentum from here and add Flesh and Stone. Flesh and Stone, boom. And then we're doing Sun Stance. Oh, hold on. New. On a separate link, Flesh and Stone. Sun Stance, boom. 32,000 Fizz, 170,000 LE max hit. $2.1k regen, 1500 life leech on hit. So in total, like almost 4k life regen per second for the recovery. Whew. And this is with like relatively modest gear, I'll be honest with you. Helicals early are going to be expensive, but there is nothing here out of freaking ordinary. This is with modest gear. Like, bro. Okay, I'm a freaking big fan of that. Now, the interesting part. How much better or worse would it be if we actually completely skipped all of this part over here, all of this shit, and went into a different direction? The question is, where exactly? Though. But let's take a look. So I'm going to drop all of that. Oof. I'm going to drop all of this. And then we're going to go this way. Boom, boom, boom. Life Mastery. Let's just try this, for example. Let's try this. Alright, so what happened? So... Oh, I lost the... Okay. Wait, why did I lose so many jewels? I lost a lot of max fire res. Now, all of a sudden. Oh, long story short, though, I don't think that's gonna work. Templar area has some strength. LE damage notes. Yeah, I mean, this area is really good, right? But... the starting area over here is fantastic. But I lost even more attack. Okay, actually, never mind. Take it back. Attack speed actually got higher than before. But we lost armor, I think. No, armor is also the same, pretty much. We didn't really lose much, right? Regeneration. We lost endurance charge. And we lost the resistances from From the jewel. But why, though? How? Boom. 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 Okay. Okay, well, it is going to be a problem. Also, I'm missing 2 passives from somewhere. This one, and I'm missing something somewhere. Oh, and the stun immunity. No, this going this way is. The thing is that this build like scales ridiculously hard with jewels, man. We scale really hard with jewels. I don't think that. I don't think that, man, that this is gonna go well if we just don't go for the jewel slots. I don't think that this is gonna go well. Now the only thing that I would love if we could actually like bump our crit chance even further. But I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think there's a single way I can increase my crit further in this build. I would probably have to do some shenanigans like save. Okay, let me give it a try. Alright, what if I went this way and I really wanted to actually drop these over here? What would happen? Drop this, drop this, drop this. And we're going this way and this way, that's fine. So I have 13 passive points now. I've lost a lot though. I've lost a lot. 13 passive points though. I mean, that's enough for another cluster jewel, to be honest. How much did I lose? I lost 1 jewel only so far. Not much. Okay. I mean, that kinda works. But not really. I lost a lot of tankiness. I lost a lot of tankiness. For what? For like 15% more damage. And that's another expensive cluster jewel over here. I don't know. These are freaking mandatory. I can't drop these either. Bound by Destiny. I know what? I'm gonna do something crazy. Small cluster jewel. I don't know, life question mark? Is there like a really good wall of muscle, 5% strength? Now when it comes to small cluster jewels, we'll probably always want them with something like that, right? We definitely want them with something like that, just pure stats. All attributes and strength. Okay, how cooked would that be? Add to build. I'm gonna drop bound completely. I'm gonna add this small cluster jewel, boom. I mean, it's the same amount of damage, but like way more freaking life. Massively increased amount of life. And then what? Just go this way? Save as V2. Let's compare both versions. So this one is 92% crit. Oh, I don't have a crap. I need 1 more jewel with this. I would have to drop one of the split personalities, I think. Boom, something like that. Save. Okay, more or less. So 30,000 armor, 15 almost, 8.8, 166, 31. And this version is... So like 7% less damage. I mean, this is still better. This is still... Why is this freaking cluster over here so broken, dude? Why are these few nodes so strong together? I freaking can't beat that almost. 14.6. No, it's not better, dude. I don't think it is. I really don't think it is. What about region? 2.2. 2.1. The region is still freaking good. Iron Fortress check. Block is busted. I really don't want to drop my Fizz max hit, but I'm kind of curious how much will it be with Iron Fortress, though. You're right about this one. Iron Fortress with a good roll with +2 AoE or something like that. Can be +2 to many things, but let's just say +2 AoE. To build, alright, how much do we lose? So we gained about 30% more damage. 30% more damage, and we lost 10% LE hit and about 25% Fizz max hit, something like that. But we do have 75% block now. Like, Iron Fortress could still potentially be stronger, depending on if you want to be very resilient versus Fizz hits, or if you want to be slightly less resilient versus Fizz hits. I guess it's up to you. I think it's still pretty, even with Iron Fortress, I think it's still pretty decent amount of physical mitigation. We're talking 7 endurance charges, so that's 28%, period. We're talking Fortify, and we're talking 21,000 armor, and we're talking 75 a block, and we're talking 8,500 life, 8.2. I mean, I'll be honest, I think that's enough freaking Fizz mitigation. No Holy Strike Gaming, Mr. Garner. Nah, we're going to be doing Holy Hammers, I'm pretty sure. Holy Hammers, I think, has potential to be like one of the most busted skills, depending on how well it's going to shotgun. Holy Hammers have huge potential, in my opinion. I mean, I guess Royal Plate if you want to get really tanky, and then Iron Fortress if you want to have more damage, but then again, I still don't know. Iron Fortress could be better overall. This freaking 75% block is so broken, right? Like, this chest, like, literally caps your block, period. How freaking broken is that? It really is broken, guys. Sure, we get damage reduction with this, but... I mean, massive damage reduction. But, I don't know. The clear will also be insane. Yeah, like, I mean, freaking, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you Path of Exile. Look at this.
And Arc.
Look at this, boys. This very likely, is without like area modifiers and stuff like that. What we're gonna see later is with Fist of War, with Pulverize. There is a good chance that he has Pulverize and probably he has Fist of War, but he doesn't have I don't know if he has like Seismic Cry or something. But like the area on this thing is going to be freaking massive, dude. It's gonna be so fat. It's crazy. And we're pretty much going to have like the Seismic Cry on every hit. Like every hit, 50% more area. That's gonna be godly. That's freaking potent, guys. That's potent and a half. You think this is potent? Like, I can't stop. You know how many times I watched this freaking short clip over here? I don't know, this skill just looks so amazing to me. Maybe because I'm a sucker for Paladin overall in every game. But this looks like a perfect skill for a Paladin for me. I gotta know. Like, purify these freaking wretched lands. One slam per screen, yeah. Oh, you can't argue that, you know, Smite is also very good, but I don't know. I think this skill has potential to be like really good single target too. It all depends on how these hammers, when you expend the power charge, how these hammers are gonna work against bosses. That's like the most important thing. We just don't know that. Yeah, it has some huge potential though. But I'll be honest, this is... I guess we're not even done with this, right? I guess we're not even done with this POB. Could still do something. You know what you could also do? It's probably not worth it. Nah, never mind. Never mind. Because there are twice as many attacks. The damage is... For this budget, the damage is looking so good. It's like the POB, in POB it says it's about 10 million, and this is only Sunder, right? I'm pretty sure that Holy Hammer is gonna deal more damage in total. 10 million per hit average with this POB. It's like, what? And that's without potentially, like, you know, including Intimidating Cry, double damage. That's this the damage from Fist of War is only like the average. So isn't Jug better? No. Jug is better for strike skills, definitely not for slams. On Jug, you want to, generally speaking, stack your attack speed. I don't think that this is going to be potentially... I mean, you could still steal Undeniable if you wanted to. There's nothing wrong with that. And you're just going to be attacking faster. But that has kind of anti-synergy with your Intimidating Cry, with your Seismic Cry and stuff like that. It's kind of has anti-synergy. It's not a big deal because against single target you don't really need Seismic Cry anyway, so you don't really care about that. But I mean, you could if you wanted to. You could still steal Undeniable, and you're gonna be freaking zooming. That's gonna like almost double your attack. Well, it's not gonna double your attack speed, but it's gonna give you a lot of attack speed. Not a bad idea. Oyama's shotgun isn't that great. I'll try using Holy Sweep. I think they will. If a worst case scenario, let me check. Worst case scenario, I think what's gonna happen is this thing over here. You see this overlap? 1, 2, 3. So worst case scenario, I think you will be able to hit twice with these two. And that's still a lot of freaking damage on this skill. That is still a lot of damage. Because that is like, what are the numbers? Path of Exile. What are the numbers on this thing? Announcements. Let's take a look at teasers. We back, boys? Okay, we're back. That was very short. It's like when you use one power charge, the hammer splits slightly to the sides, so maybe it can overlap 3 times and has the % more damage, right? Yep. I mean, I don't know about 3 times. Maybe if the boss freaking is really big. But, yeah. Alright, so, hold on. So we're talking 220 times 2 because the first hammer hits twice as hard times 1.2 times another plus another 264. So that'll be damage multiplier. That'll be a damage multiplier if we only hit twice. No, like without like extra freaking hammers or something like that. No. Just these two. This and this. That's the damage multiplier. Quality? I have no idea. Maybe more damage when expending a power charge? Maybe. Threat of Hope agnostic area is cracked. For your information, massive threat hits Battle Trance, Sanctuary, Purity of Flesh, Tireless. There's no way that's gonna work for this build. The reason why is it's a huge opportunity cost because we lose a jewel, and every node in proximity with jewels for Chieftain gives us strength. That is under no circumstances that's gonna be better than a rare jewel. There's no way. There's no way. I think quality is one additional hammer mods there. There are two, maybe. 10% more damage quality. Sup, Xerolo. You're cooking for 3.28. The new skill, Holy Hammers. Honestly, so far, POB is freaking looking sublime. POB is looking really good. And the skill itself is looking freaking amazing. But I'm really happy with the numbers. Compared to the previous league, we managed to completely fix the problem of having rather low Fizz max hit. Now the Fizz max hit is actually freaking amazing. That's incredibly tanky versus Fizz. And that's also incredibly tanky versus Elemental. And we still have like almost 4,000 regeneration per second from Leech and from Regen. It's looking really good. If you wanted to, you could sacrifice something. You could sack something over here. Get these 3 points if you wanted to. The regen goes from 2.2 to 2.8. Damn. And then you could, like, you know, try to get even more regen if you wanted, obviously. Usual Sunder leveling when you swap to Holy Hammer. Sunder, yes. And we pretty much will want to swap to Holy Hammer when we get some decent amount of crit chance. That's the plan. So if we're gonna get, like, I don't know, 50% crit chance or something like that, we probably want to swap. Because this is when we're gonna start using power charge and critical to sustain our power charge generation. What does General Cry do in the Smite setups? Looking at previous builds, don't see linked attack skills and POB MOBA. Only one thing. It pops every 2 seconds, so that gives you infinite rage generation from this mastery. So you're always capped at rage. You always have your maximum rage. And it gives you permanent onslaught. And it gives you permanent charges from mob's mentality. And it gives you, now it will give you 100% armor permanently. So that's kind of OP. And all of that for like 20% reservation. And the only reason why I added Seismic Cry to this build this time is because these 6 melee slams exerted for 50% more area of effect is freaking crazy. Look, guys, if for some reason this is going to be like too much, if for some reason we're going to figure out that we actually don't want that at all, then we're just going to drop that. We're just going to drop that completely. And we're going to have 20% more mana reservation to spend on whatever we want. Like, I don't know. We're going to find something. we could do that, we could drop this, and we could get 2% regen helmet corruption, for example. That's going to work just fine. It's not going to be a big deal. That is going to work absolutely fine. Yeah, these numbers, I think, looking very good. The best part is that of this build is that this physical damage converted to lightning doesn't matter at all. And the fact that it's lightning attack is actually great. Because if for some reason this skill is not going to be as great as we think, then we can always swap to Smite and we're going to have the same jewels, literally. Everything pretty much is going to be the same. Like, literally almost everything is going to be the same. If we wanted to swap to Smite, then what we would do is literally we just want like +1 gloves instead of the fire exposure on hit. And we want like this cluster instead of like something else. And we're golden. We're golden after that. Alright, let me check something. Unique jewels. Let me think if there is something that we're missing. You know what? Full-born unique item. What is this jewel that gives you... Hold on. Jewels are probably... Okay. Might of the Meek. 100... Okay, but the radius decreases. I get it. 75% radius medium. 100% radius small. Small radius is not gonna do anything. Is there like potentially any place where this could be OP with a small radius? I don't think so. At least not for this build. I mean, probably in this area, right? Probably in this area you could cook with something, but I don't know. Then there is still this bastard, right? The red bastard that gives you this, but I don't think we're gonna use that at all. Also got nerfed. What about Holy Strike? Numbers are also nice. I don't know, Holy Strike just looked extremely basic, and on top of that, having to scale the skill a little bit with probably having to scale that with minion modifiers. I'm not sure about that. I'm not 100% sure about Holy Strike. The numbers look nice, but there is also some hidden stuff. Like, numbers are not always everything. You know what I mean? There's also some new ones, by the way, that they added this league, but we don't know exactly how many. Really excited to see. Honestly, some of the unique items from 3.27 were kind of busted, not gonna lie. I wonder if you can still find them on PoEDB. Only the uniques from 3.27. It's gone. What's up, Faction Tube? Only the uniques from 3.27. You can go replica Alberons with Lycia Ascendancy and Full-Board Nightmare Jewels. Yeah, but this is like a still like quote-unquote league starter, right? So I don't want to use something like Replica Alberons, because Replica Alberons, this is pretty much like a different build completely at this point, right? Replica Alberons means that you don't scale fire at all, which means that you don't use Brutus, you don't use Softs, and so on and so on. You probably don't want to be using Chieftain anymore with that as well. So there's like, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on. It's like a slightly different build at this point. The fiddling around with Holy Strike. Like day 3 ongoing, you do. With Convert, you can. Once again, this is like a slightly different build. So like, at this point, I would just probably like go for something completely else, right? Like farm really hard, like first 5 days, and then go start doing my late game project or something like that. Instead of just like, you know. What's up, Misha? I'm glad you like it. Where have you been? Only issue is dealing with mana costs. Well, not gonna lie, I am considering dropping one of these cries. But I mean, it will be so nice to have 50% more area on basically every attack. Not basically, literally every attack. Oof. Nice. Very nice. Grinding IRL and spending money on VR shit. Now I want to... Here's my credit card. Oops. Impulsive spending. RIP. I'm hoping that you're gonna recover very quickly. You just play Path of Exile and not spend a dime, have a lot of fun. Mana is something that's... I mean, how much mana will... Sunder cost 62 on a very, very slow attack speed. Leap Slam doesn't cost anything. We are probably gonna have to get a little bit of mana. I'm not sure about these 3 points. Probably that's going too far. But we will probably have to get a little bit of mana. That's true. Somewhere. Not 100% sure where exactly, but somewhere. And the other option is just dropping Seismic Right completely. I kinda wanna keep using that, but... How much unreserved do we have? 117. I mean, that's... It's kinda good enough. Thing is that I don't wanna take this POB too far. Because it's still, like, the purpose of this character is to be like a league starter and not necessarily like a turbo scaler. And honestly, with these numbers, this is already looking like easy peasy uber viable. It already looks really freaking good. So I'm gonna save it. A POB, if you guys want to take a look, I'm gonna give it to you. Islam is ours with Holy Hammering. Yo, what's with these freaking suggestive messages? Like, she came back to Twitch chat after some time, and all of a sudden, like, what is this? Like, chillax. Holy Hammers, log in, dude. But that's like the, like, quote unquote, like, the end game POB, right? I think it is looking freaking amazing, as I said before. About 10 to 15 million damage per hit is looking freaking nice, guys. It's looking nice. With everything else that this build has. So, like, you know, 90 all res, good fizz, very good elemental, insane regeneration with leech, with freaking a little bit of block. It has everything, right? Then, of course, if you wanted to go more tank, you just, excuse me, more damage, you just slap Iron Fortress and then boom, 30% more damage, block capped. You can do that, right? You lose some tankiness, but you're still tanky. You can just do this. PoE 1 tree looks so bad compared to PoE 2. That's not true. PoE 1 is looking pretty nice. It's just PoE 2 tree is looking a little bit more modern. I'll give you that. But in PoE 2, on the other hand, there's so many freaking dead nodes that nobody ever takes. And in PoE 1, it's not really true. Every freaking single node is pretty good here, to be honest. So in PoE 2, they went quantity over quality, I guess. I've been telling you that in PoE 2, they will have to start reducing the size of the tree because there's so many dead nodes there that nobody takes. Alright, I would say that for now, I'm gonna keep on thinking. But for now, this PoB is pretty much done. There is 2 things that we need to do today, guys. And both of them are insanely interesting. Number 1, the Inquisitor build from last league. We need to remodel that build for late game as an end game option with Echoing Shrine belt. And with the additional ring bloodline over here. So we need to remodel that build. Number 2, there is something hidden that very few people know and probably overlooked. There is an absolutely broken, I think, technology with the new belt again that nobody's talking about for some reason. Why is this POB not working? How is this possible? I'm gonna try to share again, but it should be fine. It should be fine, my friend. Do you have the newest version? POB for PoE1. And the guy got roasted. It shows nothing. I have no idea, my friend. Let me see if... Okay, let's back. Let me see if I'm going to import that, if it's gonna work. It works. It works just fine. Alright, not new. Inquisitor. Okay. I have a couple of ideas how to do this. Doesn't have to be smite, by the way. But I have a few ideas how we could do this bad boy. Honestly, we're gonna start this character from scratch. Templar, Inquisitor. Is it still going to be Inquisitor? I think it will be. Nameless Bloodline. No. Boom. No flasks at all. Boom. 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 That's pretty much it. Over here. How also did your league grind go? Did you get the Masters? We almost got GM actually. I was like 100 LP away from GM. I was 750 LP with crit Nasus. But we couldn't get it. It's just too washed. Is what it is. Just too washed. Hands too old. They just cannot freaking do the things that they were capable of doing in the past. I don't know. Okay, let's not get too far. All right. So, I mean, let's start with items. Did great. Well, I appreciate that. I know. Chaos penetration. So this is going to be, on the other hand, a replica Alberon's build. Dex int, attack speed. Freaking Nasus. The best champion in the game. Excuse me, the only champion in the game. Aegis. Aegis Aurora. We're gonna boost these bad boys. Boom. Then we have Crown of Ice again. Crown of Ice. Reservation. Give me that accuracy if you don't mind. Rare belt for now. We're gonna skip. Then Shaper's Touch. Like saying Kitava's best class in PoE2. Defensively. Defensively is pretty good. For now, let's try +1 to gems. Can switch to attack speed later. Replica Alberns. Moon strength. Amulet is gonna be Eyes of the Great Wolf. I don't think that anything's gonna beat this, minus like crazy simplex later. We're talking attributes, and we're talking. This chosen of all endgame, yes, but this is gonna be with a twist, with a big twist. Attributes. Screw it. Let's go crit multi. Just like a mid-roll. Anoint, Tranquility. It's gonna be the best anoint by far. I don't even need to think about it. And then Attributes is gonna go from... Well, I can actually... Catalyst attributes, there we go. Boom, then the rings, we need helicals, obviously. And since this is an endgame build, I am not going to screw around here, guys. We're gonna get something nice. So what we're looking for basically is something like that. Strength, all attributes. Okay, I don't want to go too far, right? Let's just do some, for the most part, basic. Let's do something for the most part basic. 200 strength, 44 attributes. Something like that. That's not like impossible. 3 of those. We might be lacking some freaking intelligence, not gonna lie. Belt, obviously the new belt, so I'm going to keep this completely open. Leather belt. Drop this, drop that. Broken belt. There we go. Not supported in POB. Broken belt. Oh, I can't change the name, whatever. New catalyst for all suffix. Yeah, but how does this suffix how does this catalyst compare to this one though? How does this compare to this one? Can it go more than 20%? Can anyone show me like the information about it or something? Did they tease it over here? Where is it? I need to see. In the over here maybe? That's the new essence. Honestly, some of these mods here are pretty freaking cool too. I gotta say. That's not this. No. It's not there. It's not there. Oh, there's Eclipse support. Oh, like, holy smoke, how freaking expensive is that gonna be? And the requirements, 273 for everything. But this is potentially going to be pretty good. Pretty much impossible. Max is 20%. Well, but that means that this does not work on uniques, because uniques don't have prefixes and suffixes, right? Uniques are just unique modifiers. Am I crazy to say that? For the most part, I think. Don't get me wrong, this is going to be great on helicals. It's going to be better on helicals than it was before. Because on helicals, you will be additionally getting like the resistances and whatever your suffixes are. Additional bonus. So, I mean, that's amazing. And on belt, same story. Additional bonus. Yeah, attribute's gonna be the same, yeah. Alright, so body armor. I'm gonna think about that next. Let's drop this. Here we have Shrine. Resistance Shrine. Oh, what am I doing? I wanted to make a screenshot. Screenshot and post it over here. Resistance Shrine. and echoing. Now, this is going to be so much more expensive than Mage Blood, but I don't give a crap. Time-stamped? Okay, I'm gonna take a look at it, actually. Adds quality that enhances suffix modifiers and ring, amulet, belt. Yep. Well, there is a chance that there is going to be an option for prefixes too, but obviously for us, that's completely irrelevant. The one for suffix is way better. And I'm assuming that you're only gonna be able to get this from the mirage mechanic, which means that these are probably gonna be a little bit more expensive, but it's fine. Alright, there we go. There we go, then the passive tree is gonna look more or less like this. I think more or less I do remember what the passive tree is gonna look like. And then we're gonna do adjustments if necessary. Boom. Boom. I'm sorry. Boom, CI, boom. Still need to be getting intelligence. Still need to be getting intelligence. Can decide what to start, Templar or Martyr. What do you plan on starting? Holy Hammers? Either way. Holy Hammers looking pretty good login, dude. Alright, you know what? For now, body armor, we're gonna do this. Body. For now, we're gonna do pure ES, Twilight Regalia. We're gonna improve the quality to 28. We're gonna do ES. We're gonna do ES. We're gonna do ES again. I would say that this sounds good enough. Then we're gonna do intelligence, and then we're gonna do. And potentially we could make it even stronger if we slammed Deafening Essence of Rage. Wait, hold on. Can you craft prefixes and then craft prefixes cannot be changed and then slam essence? You can't do that, right? Long Neck Brigade. By the way, you're gonna try Last Epoch after PV1 season before PV2 or not? Depending on if we're gonna have enough time. If we're gonna have enough time, I actually did play Last Epoch for a little bit. Hold on, let me check it. Let me take a look at the Steam. Last Epoch, I've played for a solid 150 hours. So that's actually kind of solid. So I'm actually play that if we're gonna have time. In between, why not? You can't do that, yeah. So we're gonna do apply enhancement. We're just gonna do attributes. Not freaking this. Hold on. Add modifier attributes 6%, and obviously it would be Searing Exarch, Eater of Worlds. Add implicit. Exarch's gonna do. Actually, I'm not sure, to be honest. Probably aura effect. Like, let's do this. This is an endgame build, so I'm not gonna like screw around. We're doing expensive shit. Less damage taken per strength, 180, boom. And the suffix is gonna be left over. Screw it for now. Like, it's probably gonna be like 1 resistance, right? I can help. Ooh, you missed W. You're supposed to say ooh woo. I'm sorry. Can't do essence on metamod. Yep. But this is looking good enough. Tincture I'm gonna leave for later. I need to save this. 3.28 chosen. Chosen. Boom. Builds. I'm going to use this real fast to check how the tree looked like, because all of a sudden I have to say I forgot. So we had these over here. We did not go all the way over there. Fair enough. And this and this. Luckily, we're not gonna need this at all, which is freaking amazing. We're not gonna need Fortify Cluster at all, which is freaking amazing. It's actually amazing. That is beyond amazing. That we don't need that. That's so many passive points saved. Okay. Perfect. So obviously we're taking all the jewel slots. It would be kind of nice if I figure out the way to get maximum endurance charges. It would be kind of nice. Enmity Embrace is Beast Endgame Ring for it. For the Inquisitor that I'm doing right now, no. For the Chieftain, yes. This would be like the highest damage. Like yesterday I was trying to like cook something and I think we managed to get about 300 million damage, smite damage with Enmity. So it's not like super like tanky, right? It's not necessarily like it has the damage of an endgame build, like super endgame build, but it doesn't have the tankiness of an endgame build because it only has like 150,000 max alley hit or something like that. So that's why I don't want to like, you know, keep on stacker. I want to swap to Inquisitor probably later, but we'll see about that. So my friend told me Puyon got getting more and more ruthless. Like, is it true? You could think that in the past 2 leagues, but this league it seems like they like giga buffed loot and everything, so it's actually the opposite. I think this league is going to be really like reversed, and we're gonna have a lot of loot this league from the information that we've been getting so far, at least. Charges so P and PV1, yes they are. Alright, let's do this. Search, find Timeless Jewel. Let's just go with it. Doesn't matter. Eternal Youth. This is what I need. I need some Eternal Youth. Okay, let's do this. Boom. It's 5%, 5%, 5%. Beautiful. We need this. Now ask for the cluster jewels because I don't remember. What was I doing? I was doing Veteran Defender. I was doing Shield and here spell damage. For the jewels, 2 splits. We're not gonna be using Melding. We need Balance of Terror and Lethal Pride. Okay. No, but like this shrine, this belt that I freaking put in there, that's actually like, that is going to be like beyond expensive. But, you know, like we have to freaking give it a try, right? That is going to be so expensive. It's like mind-bogglingly expensive. Alright, we need this cluster for Rage, also Intimidate, so that's nice. We need this cluster for Armor and Endurance charges. Armor per strength, probably I'm gonna get that. So endurance charge selected, boom. Endurance charge login, dude. Then we're gonna put helmets. In helmet we're gonna have Purity of Elements. I think so. Purity of Elements. I don't remember the remaining auras, so we're just gonna keep it like this for now. Accelerating Shrine, Diamond will be the most expensive. You can't have accelerating plus Diamond. It can only roll 1 offensive and 1 defensive shrine. So basically what you can do... By the way, there is one hidden, I think, beyond OP shrine that nobody's talking about for some reason. And we're gonna get to that after I'm done with this POB. There is one that is beyond busted, I think. Not because what it does is like crazy OP or something like that. It's because the numbers are just freaking... It's kind of like the same example of what happened to Hand of like freaking whatever in motion. The same thing that last league, the reason why accuracy stacker was broken was because the number was just way too high on this item. And it's the same with this shrine, but we're gonna talk about that later. But you can only roll defensive and offensive. So for example, you can roll a Massive Shrine, Resistance Shrine, Impenetrable Shrine, and then, for example, with Diamond or Acceleration or Echoing or Brutal or something like that, right? I think this counts as a defensive one also. The Resonating Shrine. I am not sure about that though. Gloom Shrine would be kind of nice, I guess, for... Well, Gloom Shrine would be kind of busted also. But I don't know what's gonna beat Echoing. I mean, this is just freaking beyond freaking stupid. Like 100% more attack speed. Like, what the hell? The best part about this is that it's not only double damage, but it's also pretty much double the movement speed on the map. So it's just like... Once you equip that, it's like... you will get addicted from it. You really will. But yeah, boom. Large cluster jewel. Zoomer chats, that's right. All the freaking boomer slowpokes left behind in Zoomer chats. Just freaking gotta go fast. Alright. Shield. Veteran defender. Veteran defender again. Not martial prowess. Fuel. Fuel the fight. Martial prowess. Something like that. Something like that. Dun, 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 dun. Then shield effect, energy shield again. Freaking misclicking a lot, dude. Just like in League of Legends. Strength. This actually maybe would be attack speed. It would be better. I got more weights for home gym. Freaking checks out why your credit card is freaking on life support right now. How many things did you buy? Freaking 50, 90? What else? Sorry guys for coughing. Spell damage. Effect. Sorry, I didn't mean to be mean. Alright. Attributes. Strength. Beautiful, beautiful. Perfect. This one's gonna go over here. There we go. We select all of these. We select all of these. These nuts. We got these. I have way too many freaking passives right now. There's another small cluster jewel we'll need. Just this one. Mana reservation. Efficiency. Effect. 35. Energy shield. All attributes. Strength. I know that what I'm putting in here is expensive, but it's not that expensive. If you can believe that. Armor stacker when? When the cows go home. I mean, I don't know. Armor stacker got hit this patch, and if we're talking like expensive builds, like armor stacker is the expensive build. So I don't know if I will be able to farm this amount of currency, but maybe one day we're gonna do something like that. Maybe one day, but don't quote me on that. Okay, let's do strength. What skill are you building this POB for? Any skill really. You can what I'm doing here, you can basically do any skill you want with this thing, with this tech. So literally anything you want. Arrows from skill is 10% increase effect. Yes, please. Then I probably want this as well with what else here? I'm actually fine, I think. These helicals, unfortunately, I need to make them warlord. They need to be warlord helicals. Is there a single item here that I could make a warlord item easily? I guess Aegis could be done. It's... well... I don't know, man. This is gonna be pain in the ass. Actually, I take it back. It's gonna be pain in the ass. But it's fine. It's fine. It doesn't matter. It honestly doesn't matter. It's fine. 44. Warlord. Bound by ass. Bound by destiny. Strength. 15%, please. 15% for clear skin. Let's put it in there. Okay, we're talking... That actually didn't do as much as I thought. I mean, 200, it's not bad. Split personalities. Split personality. We need intelligence still, even though it got destroyed. Oh, Misha, you should know that. The PoE1 developers actually know how to deal with Energy Shield. Energy Shield got destroyed this patch in this game. Because they decreased the scaling. You only get half of what you used to from intelligence as Energy Shield. You used to get 1% intelligence per... you used to get 1% Energy Shield per 5 intelligence. Now it's 1% per 10. Got 50% nerf. Massive nerf. Seeing the D2 release of a class out nowhere near making those 40-year-old Blizzard fans. I think that's... I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm coughing so much. I think it's gigantically overpriced. That's what I think. This release, basically for a new class and literally some freaking... literally just few items, effectively. And some small changes to the game. For 25 bucks or like 30 bucks or something like that, that's mind-blowing. But it's Blizzard, so I'm not surprised. it's Blizzard. Nobody's surprised. Moving on. Alright. There is something I'm forgetting about for sure. I have way too many passives left. Okay, it's because I don't get the 40... Okay, I get it. Okay, let's save that for now. Bro, this POB is gonna look like a freaking beast, something tells me. Body armor. Body armor. Body armor. First of all, we need to add this 1% reduced energy shield per 10 intelligence. We need to simulate the nerf. That actually hit me really hard in my ass. Holy smokes. That's way more than I Why is it so much? That doesn't make any sense. Why is it so much? This is literally... I mean, I guess it does make sense. So it's 220, so I lost 110 in total. I lost 110 in total. Next patch. Okay, it's correct. Never mind. Per 10 intelligence. That hurts, but... oh, oops. There's a Captain Poland. Can I ask questions in Polish? Like, it generally as much English as possible, but if you cannot understand, then I'm gonna answer. Sure, man. Captain Poland, Giga Chat, Polska Gurum. Why am I why am I coughing? Like, is someone in the chat like smokes or something? What's going on? Hold on. So discipline, determination, purity of elements is what we need. In the helmet. Determination, discipline, sure, whatever. Discipline, enlighten. Boom. Assuming it's gonna be enlighten level 4. Residual COVID maybe? I don't think so. I think I had COVID once. The only thing I felt was my, I don't know, things smelled weird. But other than that, I was fine. Don't get sick before the league start? Nah, it's fine, man. And besides, we're doing a 24-hour stream regardless if I'm going to be sick or not, so... I mean, I'd rather understand what you say than I can write question. Rather understand what you say. Okay, man, just go for it. I'm gonna answer one in Polish. 24-hour? Holy. Yeah, man, Boomer still has it. Boomer still has it. The hands might be old, but, you know, they're still kind of functionable. Alright, boom. So we are doing Vol Smite of Divine Judgment still as a default skill. And later on, we're gonna change it to like something better if necessary. something different. Aren't you even 30 yet? What a boomer. 33. Oh, whatever. I was about to say something stupid. I'm not gonna say. Alright. So awaken multi. Here we're gonna not screw around when it comes to the price. The price tag is irrelevant. We still need awakened ancestral call. Giga Chad. And awakened void pen. Void manipulation rather. Okay, boom, very nice. Very nice. Only 78%, huh? Only 78%. Guys, what is this? Okay, I found it. Never mind. I found it, guys. It's all good. We're gonna be using Wither. Become dust. Excuse me, Despair Curse, rather. Not Desecrate, man. I misclicked, dude. Despair, boom. I'm gonna have 15 Wither stacks. Where are my Wither stackeronies? Boom. Okay, there we go. Things are getting better. Your build that you do will be fine for expedition farming. I wanted to play a little bit in this league. The part of the last league will be better. You can answer in English, by the way. Thanks, thanks, man. It's gonna be fine. More or less, it's still the same build. More or less, it's still the same build. It's just I optimized it and made it so that it's going to be made for the new slam skill that they're releasing. If something will go wrong, you can literally do on this build. You can literally do few changes, without even buying anything. I do believe, and you can literally go back to the build from last league, which is going to be still very, very strong, right? Arguably even better now because I fixed the Fizz max hit. The Fizz max hit is actually really, really good now. So yep. There's going to be very few changes if you want to swap back to Smite. Very few. The general idea is that the build is still going to be pretty much the same. Do you know that if Heavy Strike of Fart is stacked with Crown of Ice? I don't. But if it does, it's not even worth it. I don't think it's worth it to get both at the same time. At this point, if I wanted to do Heavy Strike of Fartis, I would just go Helmet. But I'm assuming you're stacking Strength, right, with this skill. So at this point, you would just want to go for the Warlord Helmet that gives you crit per Strength, I think? Accuracy? I don't remember, but one of these things. Per Strength, I think, yeah. Can we on Brutus swap one ascendancy for fire explosions? If yes, which one? I mean, losing this kinda bricks everything because by having infinite Warcry power, you get your endurance charge, you get your charge generation, you get all the charges, you get the regeneration, you get the onslaught. Okay, onslaught you will get anyway, but you get the armor, you get so many things. So losing this is kind of a pain in the ass. So this one, I mean, losing this is kind of crazy, but this one, I guess, I don't know. It's rough, man. It's rough, to be honest. But if there is something done, then one of these two, right? You can't lose 90. I mean, look, if you wanted, nah, you can't do that though. if you wanted to go really crazy, then I guess on paper you could just like play chieftain, but not really play chieftain. And what I mean by that is like drop all of these, and then you have to fix your resistance and do everything again. It's like you're basically not playing chieftain, so you have, instead of purity of fire, you get purity of elements, and then you drop maximum fire resistance from these jewels, and then you have 75 res, but you get Tukohama and you get this. So you're like very offensive actually. Now, all of a sudden. You get Fist of level 20 Fist of War for free, you get explosions for free and stuff like that. Right? You lose all of that, so can go melding, but probably with Mage Blood. Yeah, but that's not a league starter anymore, right? You're not gonna be league starting this, unless we're talking like fast as frick type of build with you know what I mean. Okie dokie. So what do we have? We have bound, we have split personalities, we have 4 more jewel slots, which is perfect. Because so the crit chance is 78%. That is kind of low. I wonder if the helicals like that would be better. I wonder if the helicals like that would be better. So like drop the attributes, but instead add freaking crazy int, right? That's freaking crit cap. I lost strength though. Dexterity, completely irrelevant, doesn't matter. I'm kind of low on fire resistance. Actually, I take it back. I take it back. We could have fire resistance easily over here. Boom. Never mind, we're completely fine on resistances. Okay, and now remaining jewels would be crimsons with one-handed crit multi with maximum fire with, I don't know, strength with crit multi lightning. Good luck getting jewels like that, by the way, but since this is an endgame version, I don't give a shit what you guys say. I'm sorry. And then another one. Maximum lightning. Strength. I'm really sorry. I don't know why I'm coughing all the time. Crit multi with one-handed. Crit multi with lightning. And these two will go over there. Also, we do have Fortify level 1 over here from, you know what. But then if I use Fortify, I can't use Vol Smite of Divine Judgment. Honestly, that's not a big deal. It's really not. It's honestly not a big deal. Because Smite of Divine Judgment regular 1 is already busted. So that doesn't matter. That legitimately doesn't matter. Like, I'm serious. Smite of Divine Judgment, regular 1. There we go. And level 1 Fortify, I think is going to be the best. It basically doesn't add any damage, but what it does is that I get Fortify for free. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. For now. Not sure if true, but I heard something that might be possible to get Vol Smite with 7 Link. But who said that? That's a big question right there. Who said this? Where we have information confirmation, because this new coin will corrupt that item. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's gonna work. Alright, so Lightning Warp. Molten Shell with casting damage taken enhance. Tempest Shield with Enlightened Flesh and Stone. And Frostblink. It's pretty much what we had over here. Okay. So in gloves, we're gonna do Flesh and Stone. I'll be honest, guys, I need to open another POB. So I keep on forgetting. What do you think about the new belt? Isn't it super OP? You mean the new belt, the cord belt that you can anoint? Or you mean the new unique belt? Because the unique belt is busted. New unique belt is going to be... The certain combinations are going to be way more expensive than Mage Blood, I think. I think they're going to be way more expensive than Mage Blood. Okay, Lightning Warp, faster casting. Boots. Lightning Warp. Faster casting. Less duration. Swift Affliction. Then... I have like a lot of open gems on this build, to be honest. Legend Stone, Tempest Shield, Enlighten. Tempest Shield, Enlighten. Ooh, too much mana needed still. Okie dokie. I mean, I could do these two bad boys. Yeah, that's fine. Lightning Warp. How many spells? 3 spells cast in last... whatever seconds. Rage. You know, the damage is still looking kind of shit. I only have 130 million Shaper DPS. 100 million Shaper DPS? Is that possible? Could I have frenzy charges with good helicals? I guess I could. So let's do that. Okay, we're talking 160 million Shaper DPS. It's a little bit better. Enemy is intimidated, but that's already working. Enemy on con ground, that doesn't matter. Actually, never mind, it does. Well, enemy will be on considered ground because I have that all the time. Journal leeching, mana burn, con ground. That doesn't do anything though. Zalof's Oath though is big. We need to get that for region. Shrine Belt is just beyond busted. Good belts will cost 0.5 mirrors, probably more than that. Depends on how often they drop from the boss. Yeah, I mean, regular belt with 1 good defensive shrine and shit offensive will be better than rare belts. 1 good defensive shrine is not all that busted, but 1 good offensive shrine, like bro, like belt with echoing shrine is already like, what kind of belt gives you 100% more attack and cast speed? Like, let's be freaking honest. What kind of belt gives you that? Like, in many cases, it's stronger than Mage Blood at this point. Not for every build, but in many cases, it is already stronger than Mage Blood. 100% more attack and cast speed. It's freaking insane. Sure, you lose flask slots, but I think the new Static Strike would work well. I think the Static Strike is going to be very good. Looking at the numbers, it's looking really, really strong. Alright, 40,000 max hit for Fizz, 260,000 for Elemental. The armor is too freaking low. That being said, ES is looking insane. This is with the nerf from the next league already. The ES is looking crazy. I think this belt also provides like 30 intelligence or something like that, if I'm correct. I think it provides like 30 int. So let's put that in there. 2 intelligence. It also gives chaos resistance, but obviously that's completely useless. Have gem slot, can go portraits mark on budget for frenzy charges or cold snap. Was thinking of running it instead of smite. You can, but obviously, still in practice, we don't know how crazy or not that's gonna be, right? Still have to wait for the actual to test it in practice. Connor, what's the best time that you did in Act 1? You know, I'm a slowpoke. I don't know, 25 minutes? I suck at this. Tincture. Alright, which one would be the best for this build? Like, there actually isn't a single one that is good here. Not even trying to be funny. Not a single one. Like, Rage on I mean... There isn't a single one that is good. And then we would get weapon melee. And then increased effect, something like that. I don't know. Okay, so with Tincture, we're talking 226 million Shaper DPS. It's looking better now. It's looking better and better. And I still have 10 passives. But yesterday I said that if we want to take this build seriously, we need to get to the point... I might as well take the endurance charge. We need to get to the point where we can get like 100,000 armor, and then my life is going to be complete. I do not know how we're supposed to get to 100,000 armor of this. I really don't. At this point, I am even considering like dropping Aegis and like actually going for like pure energy shield or energy shield evasion, and then going here evasion, energy shield base, and then doing grace instead of determination. That would probably give me like 100,000 evasion rating actually. That would be a lot of evasion. And I mean a lot. And I would still have block, which is nice for the damage reduction. Sure, it's 35% damage reduction, but it's always like a defensive layer. But how resilient would I be versus Fizz hits at this point? The answer is I wouldn't be. Fizz would be my kryptonite. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, freaking armor feels better. Armor feels better because with this block chance, like if it with 100,000 armor, I'll be getting like 2,000 energy shield back on block. With the regen, like, yep. The damage is good though, 226 million. And it's probably gonna get higher. Like, you know, the final form would probably get higher than that still. Still 9 passive points. I guess like I could finish off with these. There's nothing wrong doing that. I mean, that's freaking almost 300 million Shaper DPS. I guess went up by 1,000 too. I mean, there's nothing to complain about here, right? That's for sure. Could even go Ghost Reaver if I wanted for 3.5 ES leech per second. Boom. That's an option. Yeah, this is the belt, so we don't use flasks, right? We don't have flasks. We actually don't have flasks. Do I really need that? Like, if I use helicals with intelligence, I don't. That's kind of a wasted cluster, to be honest. Maybe a little bit. Okay, so still 7 points to spare. I have even better idea, I think. Nah, but I don't have more jewel sockets. That kind of sucks. I mean, I could drop this entire freaking thing over here. If I did another small cluster jewel here. Boom. That's freaking crazy. That's crazy, dude. But the problem is, I think I would need to drop that completely and instead add large cluster jewel. Nah. I need one jewel socket, dude. One freaking jewel socket. And the closest I have is freaking in another country. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is my closest right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's freaking 5 points away. Aye. I mean, could I drop one of these? Bound by Destiny? Can I drop that? I freaking can't, man. Not really. It's 250 strength. I can't, dude. I can't. So long story short, I would have to go here. And that is just not gonna do it, man. I need my rage generation somehow, so I can't drop this cluster either. I can't really drop this either. What can I drop? Freaking nothing, dude. Can't drop anything. How can you generate rage, guys, in this game? Please tell me. How can you generate rage in Path of Exile? Like easily. So that I can drop these 5 points. Like you could have level 1 rage, right? But here's the problem. I already have Fortify. So I mean that's not gonna happen. Rage. Oh, hold on. You know what we could do? You can now change the... Oh my lord. We could have Overlord. Okay, but Overlord only with maces. Crap. Okay, false alert, guys. It's not gonna work. Why do we want to drop a jewel? Can you tell again? I wasn't here. No, we need one more jewel. I mean, on paper I don't, but I'm not gonna be capped on I'm not gonna be capped on res if I skip it. That's the only problem. I'm gonna have 90, 90, like 88. Which I guess is not like the end of the world. I guess I would freaking live with that. Alright, hold on. Large cluster jewel. Spell. Spell? Spell. Increased energy shield. Strength. Resistances. I need resistance here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, that kind of works. And then I need... Oh. Oh, and I still have... Oh, okay. And I need balance of terror. Alright, we're talking 300 million Shaper DPS with 18,000 energy shield. And I still have 5 points to spare. Rage on Eldritch and Blizzards? No, that's not gonna happen. I use Shaper's Touch. That's not happening. I mean, dude, like... That's way too many. One, two, three, four, five. I mean, the closest jewel socket is 5 points away. No closer than that. Is this Giga endgame build? Yes. There's only one problem. I'm going to consider that like a Giga endgame build if we're gonna get max hits to like 500,000, let's just say. Well, it's not gonna happen. Like, I want to get this build without losing damage to like 100,000 armor, so we have Giga recovery from Aegis on top of everything else. And then I'm gonna be happy. We will probably need to start sacking on energy shield. We probably have too much. We probably have too much energy shield, to be honest. Yeah, it's 310 million Shaper DPS right now. 310. 3 points left. I mean, the strength is looking clean. I was thinking for a second about Watcher's Eye too, but I think we'll just have to ignore it. Alright, save this. I said that we need armor. Let's start working towards it. Try to figure out how to get armor, boys. Body armor. Armor, energy shield. Sacred chainmail. Yes, please. Influence, Exarch, Eater. We're looking at this, that, this, decent enough, strength, int, attributes, and then aura 16%, strength. Okay, there we go. So I lose 3000 energy shield, I gain even more strength, and I gain 15,000 armor. Bro, like this, I'll be honest, guys, I wouldn't get nowhere near as much armor as I thought I'm gonna get, man. I'll be honest with you. It's kind of nice, but like 3000 energy shield for 15 freaking thousand armor. Iron and reflexes is completely out of the question. That's not gonna happen. Sure, we could do the scaling with Grace, and Grace get this mastery, which also got nerfed, by the way, and turn all of that evasion into armor with this. But okay, you know what? Let's just do something for experiment. Just do something for experiment. I'm gonna drop discipline from here. I'm gonna add Grace instead. Don't look at the mana and don't look at the passive points, please. Don't look at anything. Let's get that. Let's get this. Okay, 80. Oh, only 90,000 armor with all that? Are you freaking joking me? Oh, what do you mean? With all of that work? I guess you don't have Mage Blood with fly. Armor stacking is not gonna happen if you don't have Mage Blood, man. Period. It's just not gonna happen, dude. That's just not how it works. Anoint for Rage. Veteran's Wrath gives 2 Rage on melee hit, right? Swapping Anointment is not gonna happen. I'm gonna show you how much this Anointment gives you. It's like minus 12% more damage. It's like 50% more damage, something like that. So Anoint is like busted. Long story short. Well, I don't have all my freaking skill setups here. Forgot about Molten Shell. It's gonna be weapon number 1. It's gonna be weapon number 2. Molten Shell. Molten Shell, cosmic damage taken. Like, I don't know why I had enhance here, but sure, whatever. Weapon number 2. Helmet, gloves, boots. Frostblink would be completely unnecessary, by the way. I'm gonna shove it in. Okay, and we have still like leftover passives we could spend, but whatever. Sure, I'm trying to free 5 points on the tree. I know, man. I know. The thing is that you would also lose Intimidate if you did that, and 6 Rage. So you would actually lose quite a lot, unfortunately. You would actually lose a lot. I'll be honest, guys, with this version, I don't think that armor stacking is gonna happen. I mean, you could just keep that, literally, and have 24,000 armor and 360,000 LE max hit with 18,000 energy shield and the regen and all that stuff. You could just keep that if you wanted. And you could invest last 3 points into Ghost Reaver and boom, you have 4,000 life, energy shield leech almost. We could do this, but... I mean, we could do that. Fizz max hit is still okay, it's just like we don't have as much recovery as I used to have. 24k armor is not a lot. And then again, if you want to use this instead, then you have 40,000, but your ES goes down to 15. What do you guys think? I mean, the good news is that it will be super fun to play because it's like insanely fast, right? But like, what build wouldn't be super fast with this belt, right? with Echoing Shrine belt. you remove belt for 1 minute to see the difference? So first thing, if I remove the belt, I would need to get melding, which means that I would need to get flasks with resistances, because resistance wouldn't be high enough. Which, with Mage Blood, we could do that, right? But my damage goes down by half, right? Obviously. Damage goes down by half. With Mage Blood, we're not really going to get a lot of damage. I mean, this is still gigantic. It's still 160 million Shaper DPS. And it's completely unconditional. It's like, you have that much, period. But, well, you would need to get, like, your Rage first, I guess, but... And then with the flasks, then you could get, then you get Mage Blood, obviously. You know what, let's do the version with Mage Blood, I guess. But, like, okay, here's the problem. I can't do freaking Mage Blood because I'm doing this at the same time. So you also lose a ring slot with this. So you lose another freaking... You lose a freaking shitload. This is the reason why this belt is so busted for stat stackers, because you get the ring slot. You get a free ring slot, because you don't care about utility flasks, so... That's so crazy. Nah, there's no way that Mage Blood's gonna be better. I'd rather just, like, not get armor at all in that situation. Like, legitimately. I'd rather just, like, switch Aegis to like, a rare shield with Giga ES, and... I don't know, maybe we could try to, like, just fit in some evasion into the build, and that's all. And that will be fine. Try to fit in some evasion into the build, and get Essence and Ghost Reaver, and get these points for more evasion. Pretty sure we would easily be able to get, like, about 50,000 evasion with this. Let me give it a try. Okay, so if I wanted to replace Aegis for a rare shield, shield, energy shield, evasion. Energy shield, evasion, or just titanium? You know what? I'm literally just gonna copy like a shield from PoE trade. It's gonna be faster. Is that the Giga endgame version of the build? Yeah, but that's a different build already. That's like a endgame build for after we're done with Brutus. You can build this if you want, and it's gonna be a fun build. Let me just put it this way. It's gonna be fun. You know, another way we could solve everything completely is if we invested into regeneration more. That's another way we can solve things. Like, let's just say screw Aegis at this point and get like 5k regen and like 4k leech or something. Or even without leech, just 4k, 5k regen. ES regen, right? And that's gonna feel extremely comfy still. Aegis not needed at this point. We could also do that. Because the fizz damage mitigation is still going to be good enough with endurance charges and with fortify. So it's not a problem. We could still do that. Right? Then at this point I wouldn't need this anymore also. So that's 4 passives saved, actually. Aegis is broken level comfy. I know. Well, what can you do? We wouldn't need this, and we wouldn't need this. These could completely go. That is a lot of passive saved. I mean, screw it. Let's give it a try. Alright, so a shield. Titanium. I mean, let's just put it this way. Shield. 555. Show me what's going on. Select option, standard. Standard? A lot of weird shit's gonna appear here, to be fair, I think. There's some weird stuff that's gonna appear over there. Synthesized. Please tell me there is an option for synthesized. Yeah, there is. I mean, that's legacy. A lot of them will be legacy, unfortunately. Strength. Implicit. Wait, what? Oh. Still nothing? I don't get it. I've done smite too many times. We'll still use hammers for Inquisitor and shell. What hammers? You mean the new hammer skill? I don't know why there isn't a single one, but so be it. Let's decrease this. See again. Okay, there we go. This is... Bro, what the heck is going on here? Is that good enough for me to like just put it in there and slap in 6% strength, synthesized strength? Oh boy. You know what? I'm gonna freaking craft it from scratch. Titanium. Let's keep quality like that. Edit. Implicits 1. 5% increased strength. Let's do something like that. And then do energy shield. Energy shield. Energy shield. You can get up to 500 energy shield on titanium nowadays. That's more than I thought. The Holy Hammers, use your Inquisitor POB to build off of it. Yeah, but you're gonna need a way to generate power charge. I guess it's still the same thing. I guess you can do that easily. The problem is that it's going to be... The sustain is going to be a little bit different. You probably will not want to use multi-strike anymore. You just want to replace multi-strike for something else, because you will not be getting power charges. I mean, I guess you could be getting every hit almost. That'll be fine. That'll be... I guess you could do that. There's only one problem. You can't use this with Paradoxica. So you would need to like rebuild the entire character and find like a different weapon. Because with Paradoxica you won't be able to use it. You need a scepter, mace, or a staff. And staff is out of I mean, yeah, you could use a staff, I guess. Yeah, I could try to like figure this out. Crafting bench, essence, strength. This and maximum resistance. No. Maximum resistance +2. And intelligence. Bro, good freaking luck getting a shield like that, but, you know, here we go. 20,000 energy shield. Crimson Jewel. Strength. Cold res. One-handed... Crit multi, Crit multi. Instead of fire, I think. Okay, there we go. We have 90 Olorus with this. The damage is 360 million Shaper DPS now. Well, it's only a single implicit. It's just 5% strength, so the base is actually dirt cheap, honestly. If I gotta be completely honest. But crafting something like that is not gonna be... I mean, it's not that freaking big of a... Without that 5% implicit, crafting something like that is actually freaking easy. Just fracture T1 strength first, and then you're gonna be fine. It's not as bad as you think. Okay, and then what? Save this. Drop determination completely. Put in grace in there. We have 17,000 evasion already. 17,000 evasion already. And then get this. And then get this. 30,000 evasion. It's gonna be a little bit less than that, by the way. But 30,000 evasion. Isn't that gonna be better than just freaking... Oh, and also we don't need these points anymore. Wouldn't that be better? 21k energy shield. 1.3 regen. 4.2 leech rate. $360 million Shaper DPS. Almost 400,000 LE max hit. But the thing is that I don't have a way to generate endurance charges now. So this actually is going to be lower. For sure. I don't have these charges. I need to figure out a way to get charges, basically. Oh! But I mean, offensively, it's still strong. It's like, I would say that this build will be like ready for Valdos, but not ready for... And I wouldn't technically need this anymore. And also, I technically wouldn't need even this anymore. No, I still need this. Never mind. I guess this is still fine. I mean, I would still have 60% chance to reduce the damage by 35%. I mean, it's still pretty good. Maybe glancing blows wouldn't be needed. Maybe they wouldn't be. Maybe they wouldn't. Megalomaniac with enduring composure. True. That's a lot of points down the shitter for a Megalo like that. I mean, I'm almost close to another jewel socket at this point, but... You know what? We're gonna keep it as it is for now, and I'm gonna keep on thinking later. But, you know, the numbers are looking pretty clean here. It's just... if I figure out the way to get endurance charges permanently right now on this character, and on top of that, manage to get like good amount of regen, I'm talking like 3,000-4,000, and I would say that I would go with this. This is looking clean. I would go with this. %78% chance to evade, also very nice. Another 30% here. 33 spell block also. If I could also get like more block chance. If on top of that we got like, I don't know, 60% block chance, I would say that this is actually like really good. Like legitimately. Because instead of like, we would still have very good mitigation, but also we have insane avoidance. It's like with 60% block chance and like... Wait, hold on. I can get a lot of block chance. Just change this. Chance to block. Boom. I mean, there we freaking go. 50%. It's like 20% more if we could get from somewhere. And there we go, we're freaking done. Like, legit. Legit, boys. Also, I have slightly too much intelligence. I think. Slightly too much int. We're inting, boys. I think I overdid with it. Like, if I had something like 1500, that would be enough. Also thinking about Watcher's Eye. Yeah, Enduring Composure would be really good. I agree with that. I mean, another option is I could drop Tempest Shield. You know where we could get a lot of block from, right? From Cluster Jewels, but that is a big sacrifice right there. That is a sacrifice I'm not sure if I'm willing to take. I'm not gonna lie. What about the Smite of Divine Judgment? Awaken Ancestral Call. Damage in full life. 37, 57, Awaken multi. Supports are perfect. Supports are perfect, really. One second. You can get rid of 2 more points. You can also go for another jewel on the right side, by the way. I'm sure you know it already. Yeah. Yep. They would have to be these two, right? If I wanted to, like, push another jewel socket to Reno. This would give me, like, Emperor's Mastery, for example. This would, for example, give me Emperor's Mastery. I guess. I guess that would be slightly better, but would it be that much better? The problem is that I need 1 more passive point to get another big damage boost now. Emperor's Mastery, this jewel is so freaking overrated, it blows my balls. This is such an incredibly overrated jewel. I'm not gonna lie. For its price. It's crazy overrated. Am I dense? On the Brutus POB there's 7 gems in the chest? Yes. But this is the... I started with kind of like late game-ish POB. That's gonna be like first week into the league or something like that. And I'm gonna start working towards like lower and lower budgets, right? But there is this new thing that they added. Maybe I have open tab over here still. There's this new thing that they added. Sorry for that. Do I have this open? I don't. I'll need to try to find it again. There's this thing that they added. It's a coin of whatever. There are different variations, and what they do basically is you can use them on level 20 active gems, and when you use it, you get a random support level 1 support on your skill. So obviously the good thing about that is that you can get like power charge on a critical strike or something else, and then you can replace one of your other gems and then get what you need, right? So you basically have a 7 link for free. The only difference is that it's gonna be rank 1, right? Level 1 support gem without quality. So yeah. Long story short, this is how it works. But if you want to be able to get what you need, then you know you're gonna just drop something like, I don't know, like Fist of War maybe, or increased crit damage or something like that. You're just gonna drop something. Rolling for level 1 power charge. Yes, but it's not mandatory. You can do it differently. But this will be probably the best in slot, because with levels, this doesn't really receive that much. Only higher chance to get power charge and a crit, so should be fine overall. Should be fine. I mean, I'm considering going with this. I mean, that's 30,000 evasion for free, with even more energy shield than Aegis and stuff. I'm considering going with this. Not gonna lie. If I could, I think this is really good, bro. Like, look at this. This is 80% evasion. We could maybe, we could maybe try to figure out how to get. Oh, I know what I could do. I could drop this and use Tincture with Blind on hit, and increased effect of Blind to increase our evasion even further. And we would get block chance. Like, there's only 2 things in this PoB that I would like to do. Get higher block chance, like 15% or something like that, and get permanent endurance charges. Because right now I don't have them. We're gonna do these 2 things and I'm freaking happy. I'm legitimately happy with this PoB. This is what I'm gonna be going for. Also, I mean, I guess we could use Ghost Dance at this point too. Every 2 seconds, getting Ghost Shroud up to maximum of 3. Ghost Shroud to recover 3% of your... equal to 3% of your evasion rating. So 900. I mean, I'll tell you what, we wouldn't be getting hit very often. I'll tell you that much. But it's 30,000 is not enough for that to be like really good. It's gonna be okay, but actually it's not gonna be very impressive. Like, legitimately. There's gotta be something that I can do better here. There's gotta be something, boys. You wanna see... We're gonna take a short break with this PoB. You wanna see what is going to be... I don't wanna say the most broken thing in 3.28, but arguably something that everyone is sleeping on. Something that's gonna be disgusting, most likely. You wanna see something, guys? I can show you if you want. Alright, let's jump into it. You see this shrine over here? This shrine over here? Let's jump into PoE Ninja. Let's change to PoE 1. Let's see builds. And let's do Keepers. And let's do... Oh, you can't freaking do it by mana? That sucks. What is like a typical item that mana stackers use, guys? I need to see. I just give me a PoB of a mana stacker. I'm just gonna put it this way. Indigon, that's true. Okay, so I need a Giga mana build. Kinetic Blast of Clustering. Literally all of them. Holy smokes. I need a build with a crazy amount of mana. This is 16,000 mana. I'm going to say that's okay, probably. Let's see some other ones. This guy is 13,000 mana. This guy is 10,000 mana. Probably the more the ES they have, the more mana they're gonna have. 14,000 mana. Sort by DPS. Think that DPS is gonna help. I mean, maybe. 9,000 mana. 78 million. It's 6,000 mana. Oh, this is dog shit. Let's sort by energy shield. 10,000 mana. 11. 22, there we go. It's a guardian. Alright, give me this POB. I know that this is with Mage Blood. We're gonna drop that real fast. Dude, even without Mage Blood, he's 900 freaking overcapped lightning res. Jeez. Alright, but here's the problem. I need to respec all of that shit. But just freaking ignore it, guys, please. Just ignore it. All bloodline, that's fine. Hierophant, you're gonna get the... Oh, he already has Sanctuary of Thought. Okay. He already has that. Well, screw it. Let's keep the Guardian. Let's keep the Guardian, bro. Item tab. That's a lot of jewels, indeed. Oh no, I freaking rerolled something. Let's go back. Let's keep it. Let's drop the Mage Blood. Let's drop these flasks. Right? Ignore the resistances, right? It's not important. You would just build around that somehow. And I wonder how much mana regen he invested into. But the bottom line is, what you want to do is, you know, this belt slot over here, you get Replenishing Shrine instead. And then instead of Indigon, you equip the Ghoul, which would give you 17.5% of mana regenerated per second. And then you start scaling mana regeneration everywhere. You start scaling mana regen everywhere. You get mana regen like recovery from Watcher's Eye. This guy probably doesn't have it. You get mana regeneration on the entire tree. And you get to the point where your mana regeneration is like 20 freaking thousand or something. I'm pretty sure you can get that pretty easily. I am not going to like be building POB from the very start because it's complete nonsense. Oh, he's doing the... Okay, I get it. He's doing this. Yeah, he doesn't have mana recovery from Clarity. You stack mana regeneration, you stack Arcane Surge effect. Arcane Surge is what? Arcane Surge is what in PoE? I'm pretty sure you can stack Arcane Surge effect to some ridiculous level. Okay, 30% mana regeneration rate. So even from the passive tree, you have a lot of effect of Arcane Surge, right? This is up to 50% already. And you have more from Cluster Jewels. So I'm assuming you can get probably about 500% mana regeneration rate. I would say it's probably not too hard. Especially you can get some crazy amount from Misted Rings. You can get some crazy amount of mana regen from Misted Rings. Probably above 100% easily. On both of them. Actually, all three of them. Because you'll be stacking stats here. When you get to the point where on a build like this, you'll get about 20,000 freaking mana regen per second. And with this 20,000 mana regen, the only thing you do is you get Mom, you get 10% from Hierophant, you get 15% from what do you call it? You get 15% from the chest, and you get many different many different places. You get more, and then you have an immortal character. As long as you don't get one shot, and you will never get one shot because you just stack endurance charges after that. You have an immortal character because you have 20,000 mana regen per second and life regen too. Like, you just cannot die, right? Unless you get hit by freaking 500,000 something. But if you don't, you just can't die. This is like... I'm pretty sure that this is going to be like the most hidden OP thing that nobody's talking about next league. Someone's gonna make like absolutely disgusting, and it's disgusting tank with this. And something tells me that it's probably gonna be cheap. It's gonna be, like, let's be honest, someone's gonna find this belt with replenishing shrine effect. It's gonna be, ah, oh, shit, man, that's useless. That's useless. I'm telling you guys, this is gonna be like freaking insanely broken. How many effects do we have in the game of mana recovery rate? Mana regeneration. Where is mana recovery rate? Dude, there's an amulet that gives you 56% alone. Holy frick. I take it back, you could probably get even more than I thought in the beginning. You can probably get even more mana regen than I thought. I wonder if there's mana regen on cluster jewels. I mean, like, the small passives. What are the sources of mana recovery rate in this game? We only have on Watcher's Eye, and that's it. There is a... Oh, wow. Really? Hey, Karn, can you turn off verified accounts on Twitch chat? Also, do you have POB for the Holy Hammers? Can I turn off verified accounts? I'm not sure about that, to be honest. I've never changed this option ever. So I think it's like by default, and nobody's ever complained about it, so... I'm not sure if I can. When it comes to POB for Holy Hammers, I do, but this is going to be... I started with like an endgame POB, and I'm gonna be working towards the lower budget ones, like pretty much right now. But this one, I can already show you. That being said, this is with Sunder. This is a placeholder, right? Because we obviously don't have the Holy Hammers in the POB yet. So, phone number to chat, but all good. Nice to see you. I've never been doing any changes, so like I definitely cannot do that during the stream though. All right, let's try to find the POEDB. Mana recovery rate. Recovery rate? Nah, I mean... Mana recovery rate. Okay, dude. So it does seem like there's only one. Which is on clarity. But yeah, I mean, that's still a freaking ridiculous amount, right? That is still a ridiculous amount. I kind of want to like sit on my ass here and like POB something like that, actually, bro. But I kind of want to POB something like that. Because with this amount of mana, you could still, you know, the damage would probably not be freaking like crazy or anything like that. But with this amount of mana, you still get a lot of ES. So you could actually do Energy Blades Battle Mage with this, if you wanted to. You could do Energy Blades Battle Mage. Oh, okay, never mind. With Archmage, that would be pointless. I take it back. That would be pointless with Archmage. So you would get like Giga Flood damage still. Now also, guys, if you don't want to play Chieftain and you want to experiment, there is something you can do if you want to, but I need to find it first. Okay, I'm gonna take a look at that. I need to find it first. I need to find Relicarian Ascendancy. Should be anytime soon here, hopefully. There we go. So with Relicarian, there's one cool thing. If you like to play Smite, you could do Victorious Influence, for example. Victorious Influence is actually beyond crazy on Smite. And generally speaking, if you like want to like get some auras on top of that, there's 40% increased area of effect of aura skills. Guess what? That does work on Smite. So you literally get 40% increased area on Smite with this. And you get +2 to Smite skill from aura, because Smite is an aura. It has an aura tag. And you get 50% reservation from that. If you want to play a Smite build, that is some gigantic value. Divine Judgment, yeah, it still has an aura tag. It is going to work. So if you want to play Smite, like this node is actually one of the best nodes I've ever freaking seen, right? If you want to play a Smite character, that's crazy, by the way. It's 40% increased area of effect on Smite, which is Giga AoE, reservation, and +2 to skills and aura skills on top of that. So I mean that's really, really crazy, this one. But I guess see what other options could we have to actually make it good. So here, what could you get? Okay, this is awful. This is awful, unfortunately. On the other side, I mean, there isn't much. That is amazing. There isn't much, boys. There isn't much. The first ones are really good, but after that, it's like not that great. What about this guy? Undeniable, Holy Strike, Baron, Aegis. Dude, what the heck is this? This is... We're not cooking here. Nah, I'm not baiting you guys. How do you fix the max hit taken? On what? On Brutus of Holy Hammers? What do you mean? The max hit is really good. The max hit is really good for a League starter. This is amazing. Like, nothing in this game is gonna hit you for 30,000. Like, Uber... Oh, and Scion, okay. Yeah, no, I was just like, you know, kidding. No, not kidding, it's just like, if you have like a concept of a Smite character, then this node is beyond freaking crazy for Smite. If you want to do Smite and some aura stacking on top of that, then this node is really, really crazy. It really is. It's just, you know, I just gave you an idea, right? But yeah. Man, I keep on thinking about this guy. As we need two things. We need like 10,000 evasion. Hold on. So we have Emperor's Mastery here, right? Emperor's Mastery freaking sucks ass. So what if we had Watcher's Eye here instead? And this Watcher's Eye was Grace. Additional chance to evade Grace. Give me this. And then had to build. What auras do I use? Purity of Elements, Discipline, Grace. That's it. So I would say Discipline maybe. Or double Grace with Blind on hit. That's kind of nice. Not gonna lie. Or Discipline with Regeneration. I probably wouldn't want anything else but Regeneration. He has Regen. 2.5, that's actually pretty decent amount. Alright, save that. Let's put this shit over here. And I mean, look at that. That's 86% chance to evade. 86% chance to evade. Also, our regeneration goes up to almost 2,000 now. That's way better than some baby damage from Emperor's Mastery. That's way better, dude. So we're talking 86% evade chance and 50% block chance. If we could get to like 90, 75, like you never get hit by an attack with this build. Like actually. You actually never get hit by an attack. Which is kind of freaking cool. And if you get hit by a spell, then you have 20,000 energy shield with 90 all res, endurance charges and shit, and fortify. That's kind of freaking cool. And you have 350 million Shaper DPS. That's also pretty cool. Tell you what, guys, it freaking grows on me. It's growing on me. Not gonna lie. Oh, this is one way to get endurance charges. On the freaking helicals. The minimum endurance charges you can get there. I completely forgot about that. The best part is that actually you don't need that intelligence on every single one. Only strength, really. Because that intelligence is not even going to give you that much energy shield. Want me to prove it? Watch. I'm gonna drop 300 int. How much did we lose? How much did we lose? We lost 1,000 energy shield, bro. We lost freaking nothing. We lost nothing at all. Bro, int just freaking blows ass now, man. What the hell? Int is freaking awful. How dog shit is int? I freaking lost nothing. By losing 400 int. I freaking lost nothing at all, man. What the hell? That's crazy. Maybe, what do you guys think if I'm going to, in those slots over here, I'm gonna put the helical rings that Connor had in his endgame POB? Bro, you wanna see his rings? Nah, I mean, I actually don't have POV, but holy frick, man. These were some rings, if I say so myself. You got ES tattoos? No, I don't. That's a good point. We could actually get energy shield tattoos to get more energy shield. Nah, but I still need to get some intelligence to get crit capped. Right? Because I'm doing Righteous Providence. So I still need some intelligence, right? I still need like 1400 intelligence to be crit capped or something. So it's still needed. Yo, why did my evasion rating tank so much? Oh, of course, I freaking lost int. Okay, I forgot. I tell you what, we just need to get more evasion, and we're pretty much golden. Endurance charges we're gonna get from minimum endurance charges on helicals. That's how we do it. That's how we do it, boys. That's how it's done. Also, alright, you know what? You know what? I wanna see something. Body armor, evasion, energy shield, necrotic. Just say 28. Oh! Let's just say 28. Evasion 18. Evasion 18. No. Evasion. This shit. Boom, boom, boom. Unfortunately, here we're not gonna get flat strength. Oh, I didn't have flat strength on the previous one anyway. That's fine. Fire resistance. Do I need fire resistance? I had in this one. Yeah. Fire resistance. And apply enhancement. No. Add modifier. Attributes. Boom. Add to build. Then we need Ether Exarch. Ether is going to be aura effect. So aura effect is not really that great for me, but it is what it is. Add implicit. Strength. Boom. 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 Alright. What is the cost? So we're losing 3000 energy shield. But look at the freaking evasion. We're losing 3000 energy shield. But we are actually evade chance capped with this. Now, a big freaking question. Is that worth it? We're actually evasion chance capped. It's like I literally don't get hit by attacks with this. With this setup. I don't get hit by attacks, only by spells. Of course, the LE max hit goes down to 300,000, which sucks. But I can't get hit anymore. I literally don't get hit. And then the spell block. It would be nice to get more, not gonna lie. It would be nice to get more. Also, obviously, the ES region goes. Man, like, if I could... How can you get, like, a lot of regeneration in Path of Exile, man? Energy shield regenerate. Well, it actually doesn't matter because I have Zealous Oath. So, it can be life regeneration, too. How can we get a lot of regen, bro? Why do I have ice on this build and not simplex? Well, it's fine. So, it's whatever. I could actually drop that though. I could get 4% regen, I guess, here. Not gonna lie. I lose 10% damage, but 4% regen. Vitality, Watcher's Eye. That's not gonna happen. I already have Watcher's Eye with chance to evade and regeneration. That's not gonna happen, I think. That's really freaking cool, though, I will say. That is really cool. Like doing this. I think I messed something up also. I don't think this number even goes... I don't think it's even that high. I think you can get like 900 energy shield and above 4k evasion rating on a necrotic like this. So we could get a little bit more still, but... Discipline gives me 2k. Do I have Flesh and Stone? I do. Tempest Shield. A Molten Shell is completely useless now. Almost forgot about that. So I have like literally 3 open slots for gems. 4 open slots for gems. So we would need a different guard skill here, I guess. Like, these numbers without the guard skill are pretty nice. Not gonna lie. Tailoring orb and the DS will jump. Yeah, but it's like, I just want to keep it as it is. It's okay. Regeneration. So there is 2% mastery over here. There is 2% mastery over here. Every 4 seconds regenerate 15% over... Okay. Regenerate 50 per second. That's not good enough. There is the regen over there. I don't think that this life regeneration rate will change to... No, it doesn't. We would need energy shield recovery rate. Do we have Watcher's Eye in the game still with energy shield recovery rate? Recovery. Discipline. Oh, there is. Energy shield recovery rate. I mean, good freaking luck finding energy shield regen, recovery rate, and chance to evade. But if we could find 2 of them, that would be freaking amazing. Still. It's 15%. 4% regen when low life. Ooh, that would be crazy. That was low life. That's useless. Mana regen. Recoup. Consumed corpse. Nope. Well, there is very, very few options for energy shield regeneration. What's pros and cons of this versus strength stacking jug? This, what you see over here, versus strength stacking jug. This build is going to clear everything in the game, including Valdos. I wouldn't go into Voided Valdos with this for sure. And compared to like the super endgame version of strength stacking jug, this is like 20 times cheaper or 10 times cheaper. This build, depending on how much the belt would cost, this build would actually be like 400, 500 divines maybe. Everything. It's actually like not even that expensive. Many of these items are like this is like literally like 1 divine, right? Many of these items are like dirt cheap. Depending on how expensive this belt would be. But long story short, you could still do Mage Blood, right? It's not gonna make it much weaker. You could still do Mage Blood and it's gonna be fine. And it's insanely fast. So insanely fun for mapping because you have echoing shrines, so you just like literally teleport through maps like instantly, right? I'm thinking what possible replacements you could still have. I mean, you could get the expensive one with 80% cost reservation multiplier, but you know, that's expensive. Replica Albarons. Obviously, you could get +1 endurance charge here. That would be more defense. Here you could get like 4% regen or PDR if you want. PDR would be nice. Yeah, like long story short. Long story short, that's what you could get. Alright, no boys. We did some work. We have the POB for the endgame build. If we're gonna go with this. Rage in POB config. it doesn't matter here. It only will count the maximum amount of rage you can actually have. So you can even put 8,000 here. It doesn't matter, right? Number here doesn't matter. The maximum number. Okay, so I would say we did some work. We have the POB for the endgame build if we're actually going to go for it. We have the, you know, kind of like, you know, day, I don't know, 5 POB for Holy Hammers as well. It's looking very good in my opinion. We solved many issues that we had previously. We're capped on res, we have way higher physical max hit, so I think it's fantastic. So I'm going to call it. I'm going to work off stream on the remaining POBs for lower budgets, and basically I'm gonna tomorrow make a YouTube video with all the POBs, explanation how the build works, and I'm gonna also update the mobalytics, I guess. I don't know about mobalytics because I don't want to like put like the Holy Hammers version here when I have freaking Sunder here and shit. I would still prefer to like test Holy Hammers, you know, before I would do anything else. Not gonna lie. But yeah. Oh, but I think this league I finally learned how to craft according to Craft of Exile. Decent stuff. Holy Strike would cost 8-7 divines to craft. Of course, crafting is always cheaper than buying. Always. There is no exception to this rule. And usually it's gonna be many times cheaper. That's how it is. Obviously the base will cost a bit since I will need a fractured attack speed. Yeah, it's not gonna be that bad, I guess. I think it's gonna be okay. Alright, thank you very much for watching, guys. Next stream is gonna be tomorrow. Tomorrow you can expect YouTube video, as I mentioned before, and we're gonna do a practice run. We have Wednesday and Thursday, so 2 practice runs. We're gonna run through the campaign with Chieftain. And then on Friday, of course, we're doing like a giga long stream. So hopefully we're gonna see each other there. So thanks a lot and see ya. God bless you. Bye bye.